Let's freaking go, guys. It is issue number 20, and I got two really good friends with me today. So welcome to the Bugle 6, guys. Welcome back on the show. I know both of you guys have been here before. Welcome everybody in the in the chat. Welcome here. So issue 20, it's a big deal because I don't do every week. I kind of do every other week, or maybe a few each month. So really it's longer than it seems, and I can't believe I got here to 20. But here I am, and it's going to be a good one. We have a fun little giveaway, take it or leave it, at the end of the show. So if you guys stick around for a little bit, we will have that, a chance to win some in-store credit money or a t-shirt or something like that, depending on what you get for the lucky winner to play. We also are going to talk about a lot of different figures today, and whether it's releases, announcements. We had a lot of news this morning on this beautiful Monday. And the last, what is this, the last day of September? We got one more.
Indeed,
okay.
It is.
Okay. Yeah, so last day of September, and we got a lot of news, man. So we're going to talk about all that. We do have a top or bottom segment, and just really excited for issue 20. Really excited to have Justin, How You Figure, and Dlo the Collector on the show with me. I just want to check in with you guys real quick. What is going on, Justin?
Nothing, man. Like I said, just catching my breath with all these announcements. It's a great thing, but it's also a scary thing, because it's hard to keep up with everything. I've had to stop saying that I'm getting everything on my shows. Like, I just have to now say I'll have to wait and see, but I could still be excited and get hyped, man. But my goodness, it's like, just when you think you've had enough, it's like they give you 5 announcements in a morning and 3 releases. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and then in the back of your head, you're like, I know they're still going to announce this figure at some point, so I have to think about that too, and it's crazy. Yeah. It's a lot. This year has to have broken a record. I mean, Dlo, you probably know more than I do with that, but what's going on, man?
Nothing much, broski. I survived. I made it through the hurricane.
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah,
that's
that's
awesome.
that's good. I'm here. The collection's safe. And also, if I can take a second, shout out to everybody who's been reaching out to me on social media, checking in on me, taking a look at my family, making sure we're okay. So sweet of everybody here. Didn't expect to get so many people reach out to me, but it just really goes to show you how sometimes the community can really amaze you, even as long as I've been in this here. With all the negative, you forget some of the positive that can come out here. And so it really meant a lot to me that a lot of people checked in. So thank you to everybody who reached out to me. We're good. Everybody's okay. Family's safe. Collection is safe. Everything is good. So first and foremost, thank you with that there. And Brickster, thank you for inviting me. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it or not. I said, let me get through the weekend and see if I still have a collection to show everybody. So, but yeah, we're okay. So thanks for the invite today. Yeah, crazy morning, man. It's just it's so weird now. Isn't it like when you get these like back-to-back announcements? Because at first it was like, okay, Bane, awesome. People have been waiting for that. Okay, the IG-11
Yeah,
accessory thing. Oh, okay, cool. Harley Quinn Arson. Okay, what the hell is going? And I hate that feeling because at first it starts off so high, and then it's just
yeah,
the anxiety kicks in because like, oh my god, how am I going to afford all this stuff?
yeah.
What's going on?
You're
So
like, I'm getting this. Oh wait, shoot. Okay, I'm getting this too. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to choose
yeah.
now.
Oh, and tech. So like, yeah,
Yes.
so much coming out. It's just like by the end of the day, I feel like I need a brown paper bag just to
Yeah.
hyperventilate a little bit because I'm
Right.
so overwhelmed.
And that's just Hot Toys too, right? I mean, InArt's
Yeah,
got Legolas. We've
so much
got,
going on.
I mean,
Blitzway
shoot,
is doing
Blitzway's
some
doing
crazy
some
stuff.
Star Wars stuff. Like, and that's like,
Yeah,
nobody does Star Wars statues. At least, not it's been a while, not often. So yeah, that's some big news and a lot to talk about. So glad you're okay. Glad you're able to make it. And glad your collection is good too. I'm glad you put that in there too. Collection's good. So
yeah. That's what
yeah,
everybody wants. That's what the real reason why people check in.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
just want
Hey,
to make
is your
sure the
collection
collection's good.
good?
But
Yeah, they
just want to
wanted to
say,
check
how's
if
your
they could get
family?
a. Yeah, they were like, man, if anything happens, just let me know, man. Let me know if you're gonna sell anything.
Yeah, yeah. If you got to sell those
Yeah,
figures, let me know.
yeah. Like, hey, man, new roof is expensive. How much you want for that crosshair?
Yeah,
A lot of that.
right.
So
Oh man. But yeah, let's check in with the chat here real quick. We've got one Adam 12 always here on time. Bugle 6 time, all the 1/6 figure news that's fit to print. Hello everyone. What is up, Adam? Thank you for being here and thank you for being a member of the Brickyard. We also have Collection Obsession, who is also a member of the Brickyard, giving up the newspaper, saying let's go. We have X-Man Supreme, another Brickyard member. Thank you so much. Hey, what's up? What is up, X-Man? We have Valkyrie, another member of the channel. Good evening, fellas. Let's see. X-Man saying, Dlo, that is smart. Shave you got going there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Got going there, bud.
I'm getting ready for my Halloween costume, so I'm letting it grow
There you
out.
go.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't wait to find out what that is. We got Christian Cooper. What's up, boys? What is up, Cooper? Good to see you here, as well as everywhere else on the stream. So always a huge supporter and huge fan of the 1/6 hobby. We have Tighter FL. What's up, everyone? What is up, Tighter FL? Good to see you here. We have Yomo, October Madness. Yeah, so I think we're going to be getting a lot of stuff in October too. I don't think it's slowing down anytime soon. Let's see. We have the Jedi Knights Watch. Woo! Hello, Graham. How you doing, man? And yeah, people trickling in here. And we're gonna have a good show, guys. I do real quick before we get started. I do want to go ahead and thank the Brickyard members. Give them a quick little shout out to the movie canon, Nick Lift Sticks, How You Figure, Brian Wong, One Adam 12, Yomo, Valkyrie Magnus, The Jedi Knights Watch, X-Man Supreme, Collection Obsession, Thrawn's Office, Matthew, Jose G. Hernandez, Manaha Collectibles, Collector Joey, 12-inch Moose Dream, Mr. Ink, and Evil Sneaker. Appreciate you guys for being part of the Brickyard. Guys, if you want to be a part of the Brickyard, you can go ahead and do so by joining with just a $2.99 fee, but that is per month, and you get a lot of perks such as a shout out. You get early access to certain videos, as well as different polls that I run throughout the week, and also it really helps out the channel too. StreamYard has been a problem. Not going to get into that, but they definitely raised their prices. And but yeah, also I have it's more of a joke than anything. Don't feel like you guys got to do it, but I have a $50 option. Huh? And if you do the $50 option, each month you get a box full of brick stuff. So t-shirts, gift cards, all types of stuff that will add up for you at the end of the day. So yeah.
Wallet size photo of yourself signed.
I'll give you a photo of myself. And I might sign it. Yes. No, I'm just
now we're reaching. Now we're talking, man.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's paying $50, they get whatever they want. So it's just there to say, you know what? You never know. So I don't expect.
You're hoping somebody accidentally hits that for a month and be like, "Damn it!"
Yeah,
like, all right, sorry.
Like, I clicked the wrong one. Thank you. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get started with the first figure here. We have a lot to talk about. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the first release. Now, you guys are probably, I don't know, more of a fan than I am when it comes. I love Mandalorian, don't get me wrong, but like I should say more in on this line maybe than I am. I do have Mando, but and I guess I have Ahsoka as well. So I've got 2 figures, but correct me if I'm wrong. This is IG-12. And comes with like accessories with like for Mandalorian and other figures, right? Or am I way off there? Sound like an idiot.
No, that's correct, I believe, because in the promo or in the release photos or the blogger photos, they show like Mando and Bo-Katan and stuff with the accessories and all that stuff. So I think it's like a shield and some other stuff. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I think they're in these blogger photos.
Yeah, and he's got like little, baby Grogu in there and looking all cute, like, even though everyone's got like 20 Grogus at this point. But hey, I'm surprised his ears fit in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, you're deeper on this line than I am, Brick, actually, dude.
Oh, really?
I only got the Chrome Mando.
Okay.
And I had to think about it. I was like, dude, that's the only Mandalorian figure I have. And
wow.
And I'm the same as you. I love the show, but yeah, that's all I got so far.
Yeah. Well, you and I got work to do, I guess, because Dlo, my good sir, you have a very beautiful collection when it comes to all Star Wars, really. So is this something you will be getting?
Not a big fan of accessory packs, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a glorified accessory pack is what it is. It's neat, but it's just like it's kind of pricey, and I'm not sure if realistically I like to use all of the stuff that this comes with, because
sure,
I have an IG-11, and that's the biggest ticket item in here, the IG-11 12. I mean IG-12, I should say, excuse me. But I mean, there's some cool accessories in here, and it's just like, if I can find pieces separately loose of some of the things I do like, I would rather go that route personally for myself, just because there's a lot of stuff that I just never see myself ever truly using there. But some cool stuff just to highlight things that I like. There's the Paz Vizsla Blaster, the heated up version.
Sure.
I think that's really neat. I love that. That's a really cool accessory. The mouse droid as well too. Cool. I was just going to say, you just read my mind. There's some cool pieces into this, Derek. So, I mean, if you don't have an IG-11, I think this would be more ideal for you. If you missed out on that one, you want to pick this up instead, because you get a lot more stuff that the other one didn't. But for me, I'm kind of happy with the one I have. Like I said, I'd rather just maybe pick pieces I like and maybe just stay away from the rest. So.
Sure. So pretty much all 3 of us are out on this. I think, other than you, Dlo, you said you might like, buy a couple things separately if you can find that. But I think it's pretty cool. It's not for me though. I do think it's cool that they're doing this. I'd rather see them do more of like accessory packs, basically what it is, right? Like a glorified accessory pack with like Marvel stuff, because that's more my, or even if it's Star Wars, like something a little bit more mainstream, like an Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, Darth Maul kind of situation. But I mean, it's a good start. I like that they're doing it, and yeah, I mean, but like all these figures other than Mando, I don't have. So that mouse droid's pretty sweet though. How much was this figure? Or how much was this?
I think it was like 3 and change for the deluxe one. Let me check.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty up there because I mean you're getting a whole figure plus all these accessories here, so it's up there in price.
Yeah.
But like one thing I wanted to bring up here is, did you guys notice that there's something a little different about this Mandalorian that they're showing here? Like, because we all have the chrome one, correct? Like Justin, how you figure? You mentioned you have yours. That's your Mando. Do you have the best? Do you have the Durasteel one or do you have the chrome Mando?
I have the. Oh, my bad. Sorry, I thought you were talking to me.
No, you have the chrome, right? Right, Justin?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Brick, do you have the chrome one as well too?
Gosh, man, I got the one that comes with the oh my gosh, the blurg.
Oh, okay. So you got the Durasteel one.
The Durasteel, yeah. And you know why I forgot? Because I still have that sucker in the box. So that's why I forgot. Yeah.
That was from our trip.
Dude, it was from our trip. That's how long ago I got it. But I was waiting to get the shelves in, and I got that bottom open now, and just trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing with it. So,
well, okay. So I guess this question is really more than in that case for like Justin here. So, Justin, you notice anything different from your Chrome Mando compared to the one that they're showing here?
I really don't, man. I'm excited to hear what it. Yeah, not right now. I don't. Yeah.
Rick, can you go a couple of slides over here where they kind of showing them more like in daytime photos there? I think it's a couple more past this here. All right, get a little warm. There you go. Stop right there. That's the one.
Okay.
So it just could be the lighting in this over here, but if you see that Mando looks like a lot of the weathering has been taken off of the armor.
Like interesting. Yeah.
Like you guys obviously remember like when a lot of people were doing a lot of like kit bashing, customizing their to get the chrome a little shiny and stuff like that. This looks a lot shinier than how it came.
You see a lot of reflection there.
A lot more reflection. Again, it could just be the lighting because this is natural lighting. It looked a lot darker in some of the studio photos they took on this here. But it'd be interesting to see if they re-release Mando like this. Again, just a theory. I have nothing to but this feels a lot less weathered. And it is a bit odd that the Mando line for season 3, despite how bad the show was, you would think Hot Toys would jump at the opportunity to release another Mando for collectors who wanted the clean version as well, because they've released a Mando for every season. So a bit odd we didn't get it this year, or at least this particular season. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. I wonder if they're waiting for that movie, the Mando and Grogu movie, maybe. But yeah, I'm with you. Like, why not? I mean, it would sell. I mean, we know that. I mean, even though this last one sit a little bit, I think that was more probably because of like maybe overproduction or whatever. But now with the way things are going, I feel like it would probably sell pretty well. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I mean, I do see the right thigh there. It looks like it's got some of that weathering on the top. But yeah, that's interesting. I definitely think it's something that I'd be interested to see what else, if they did, like, just playing hypothetical, if they did decide to come out with one. I wonder how they could, other than that, how they could maybe differentiate it from the Chrome Mando with the sculpt. Like, I feel like they'd have to add a little bit more than just that, personally, to But yeah, it looks really good. These daytime pictures look great, man. I really liked these ones in the daylight. Like, these looked really good.
Yeah, this
feels like a TV show, like, still, doesn't it? A little bit.
Yeah, 100%. These like photos always make me want to go into this line a little bit more. Like every time a figure is announced or released, especially released, I'm just like, oh gosh, now I got to get this figure, and then I got to get that figure. But yeah, definitely Mandalorian is a special thing too, because I'm like Evil Sneaker. I watched Mandalorian when my kid was born, and when he could not sleep in the middle of the night and whatnot, I would stay up and watch the first season of Mando. And yeah, so I have like that special connection to the show. But yeah, but surprisingly, I don't have a lot of the figures. I don't know.
It's a fun line, man. I'll be honest with you. I mean, season 1 and 2 are just goated, fantastic seasons. Obviously 3, well, we don't talk about 3, but seasons 1 and 2, like, it's fun collecting those figures because it's a lot. To me, it's like the original Ahsoka line. The way Steve and I talk about Ahsoka constantly on Wolfpack Wednesdays, we're always just salivating at when we can get these figures, because they don't just do it for the show, they do it for multiple parts of the universe when it comes to Star Wars. So it's easy to take these figures and put them in other sections of your collection. They don't necessarily have to stick together. And that's kind of what the beautiful thing about the Mando line is, because spoiler, a lot of my figures from there are not even together. They're in my Clone Wars section or somewhere else. So it's a fun line. And honestly, if you guys were interested in going backwards for this one here, and by backwards I mean still available in Sideshow today, you can easily get these all on discount, which is the best thing about it here. I mean, it was so overproduced to the point where, like, if you wanted to jump into this tomorrow, you're easily going to get 25-35% off whatever figure you want. So
yeah,
so take it if you will.
Sure.
With that said,
Man.
I'm passing on this.
Yeah, I'm passing as well.
I would rather have the IG-11, oddly enough, because of what Dlo just said. Like I like the scene in the first season where he takes his mask off with IG. Like that to me is why I'd want IG-11. And like Dlo just said, now with this out, I could probably get that IG-11 for like a great price. And so that would kind of be where my focus is at, because I don't really need these accessories, to be honest with you. I don't even have Bo-Katan yet, which I'm kind of waiting and seeing on that one. I feel like we're going to get another one. But I mean, that's even at a great price. I mean, I see that one going for really cheap right now. So like Dlo said, man, this line is huge. So it's still going to cost you, but for a few pieces here and there, man, there's some good deals to be had out there.
So I checked the numbers real quick here. So $269 for IG-12, the non-deluxe, right, which comes with a decent amount of stuff. But the deluxe with all the accessories, $365 for all the stuff we're looking at right now.
Wow.
Yeah, hell no.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
No,
hard sell. Now it's waitlisted on Sideshow, but pretty sure if you go to other vendors, you can probably still find it.
Yeah,
definitely has.
I'm with you though, man. This might be the best accessory of the whole thing, just because I feel like if you have the Paz, like this I would have it with this, no question. Like this is probably my favorite one. The Chrome Mando already comes with like 8 different accessories that are really great, so I doubt I would put anything with him. But yeah, if you have some of these other characters, kind of these deeper cut characters like Paz and stuff, Dlo said it earlier, man. I could definitely see people parting this out for sure. Like, so if you did just want the IG-12, you'd probably be able to make some good money back if you just parted some of this stuff out and sold it.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Let's see what the chat is saying real quick. We got Jose in the house. Hey everyone, off to see Joker 2, but I'll catch the replay. Have a great show. Lucky guy seeing Joker 2 early. I'm a little I don't know. I'm excited for the movie, but at the same time, it's like it's one of those movies where
my hype's dwindled.
I worry
for it
about
bit,
it,
man.
Yeah,
me too. Yeah. I'm still going to see it, but I'm
not
as hyped as I was when that first trailer.
I just don't know it exactly. Same. I just don't know if I'm going to go rush to see it, unless Jose gets back to me and is like, "Dude, you have to. It's amazing." Then maybe. But you almost saying I want. Okay, I'm going to butcher this name and get made fun of. Babu Frick.
There you go.
There you go. Nailed it. First try.
Let's go.
Who is that?
Man.
Am I losing
the
my
guy
mind?
you're looking at right there, Brick? The guy right there.
No,
I'm just like, he's that little guy. He's that little dude with like the.
Okay. I was like, that's not that. Okay. Yeah. That's his name. Okay. All right, that makes sense. Yeah. X-Men saying, "Oh shit, there's no way someone hasn't made fan art of Babu Fett." Oh, I'm so confused. All right, Rusty Bronco had to wait to see if it goes in stock. What's up, Rusty? Good to see you, man. Yeah. Hopefully it goes back in stock. But like Dlo said, if that's what you're talking about, Dlo, I'm sure you can find it. Maybe Underground has it. Maybe Underground. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But we had Tighter FL saying, yeah, Mouse Droid will be a hot item on Toy Anxiety, I bet. 100%.
Mouse Droid is very cool. I do like that.
Yeah. How much do you think that would go on Toy Anxiety? Like 50?
No, nothing that egregious. Maybe $29.99. Something like that.
Okay. Well, then I might.
That's still a lot for a tiny little mouse.
It is. It is. But you know how people get with like, even if it's really small, it's like, well, I got it. Like, for example, like Lego sets, like minifigures, they sell the minifigures like crazy for super stupid expensive because they can, and you're not going to get it unless you buy a $500 set. So a minifigure is going to be like $100. Gosh. Doc Bat in the house. Hello, friends. Good to see you. X-Man Supreme saying, I've wanted Chrome Mando since before I started collecting, and with each passing announcement, I feel myself slipping further and further from Chrome Mando. Yeah, they're going to come out with a new Mando soon. So
They will, man. But I will say it's a great figure, man. Like truly is like worth getting.
Yeah. 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 Valkyrie saying he loves his Mando. Passing on the IG too. 1 out of 12. Agree with Justin. This is a cool figure. I liked it when this happened in episode 1, but I have IG 11. We got Wayne in the house as well. Wayne Timothy. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the show. We're going to have a good one here. Stick around. We got a giveaway at the end and a lot to talk about. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next figure. Let's see. Talk about a good one here. Oh, hold on. There we go. I didn't stop the screen. Huh. Feel like a noob. All right, we are going to go ahead and talk about Miss Harley Quinn. Now, this is an announcement, new Artisan edition. Now, this is one that I think we all kind of assumed we would get. This is Harley Quinn was like, okay, Artisan has to make a Harley. But for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I always thought it would be the one from Suicide Squad, like her traditional, her more popular look, at least with Margot Robbie on that end. But the more I look at this one, the more I'm not upset about that, because the more I look at this, the more I start to kind of like it. The head sculpt, I shouldn't even say that. I should say the expression. I wish we had a different expression, but I know a lot of people would wish we had this expression if we didn't get it. So I get it. But the more I look at it too, like I notice all the detail, the outfit, the weapons, accessories and whatnot. But Dlo, what do you think about this Harley? Are you excited for this Artisan edition? I think there's like 3,000. It's limited, and it's gonna be a hard one to get. So you're gonna go for it?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. It's just so weird. Again, it feels like we keep talking about the same things and it's come true right after we talk about them. So watch us on Wednesdays too, because we're apparently telling the future now. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna get this one here. I've been dying for them to make this version of Harley. For me personally, growing up watching the animated series as a kid, Harley originated from that cartoon. And to me, I'm kind of a little bit more protective of her and more traditional when it comes to how I envision Harley looking. So the Suicide Squad one originally didn't appeal to me at first because it was such a drastic change from the Jester look, the red and black that I'm used to for her. But I've really grown to like it over time. Like it grew on me. So I'm not mad at it there. But I've always wanted them to go to the more traditional Harley, and it doesn't have to be the Jester look, but a re-envisioned biker outfit in black and red. This screams like comic Harley as like she's drawn right now. So for me, I was just like, when I saw the movie, I was like, I want this one. Now, I know a lot of people like the dress. The dress looks fantastic too. And we'll talk about that more in a second. But for me personally, I'm over the moon. I absolutely wanted this one here. I'm so glad we're going to get it. I'm kind of with you in agreement with the facial expression from what I've been hearing from the community. It's really 50-50. I kind of agree with everybody here. I think it's a little, how do I put it? It's just a little too pale to get out all the expression in the sculpt itself. And I feel like it's lacking detail to really make it pop. Like I feel like with all the paleness of the sculpt with the lighter hair, I think it's taken away a lot of the detail from the sculpt. So I think it needs a little work, if I'm being honest.
Sure.
Also, I'll be honest with you, I was kind of hoping for everybody else who wanted the dress version of her that was going to be the one that was going to be Artisan, not this one, because with all respect, I don't think this particular one with this type of hairstyle needs it to be rooted. I think this could have been perfectly fine sculpted. In fact, I probably would have preferred it just because I don't know how the ponytails will work. I don't know if the knots will come out over time. So I don't know the longevity of how this hairstyle is going to hold up Artisan rooted style. But I think if it was like the dress one, gosh, that would have been a slam dunk home run for them to do with that one. But, they chose this one. To each their own. Am I going to go for it? Limited 3,000. This is the one I always wanted. I'm going to absolutely take it. I just wish there was a sculpted version because, honestly, I think I would have preferred getting that one if that was the option and just pass on the Artisan if I could.
Yeah, It's crazy to me that there is not a sculpted version of this. Is the only other one that doesn't come with a sculpted version Anakin? Right? So
Yeah.
far?
Well, Scarlet Witch too, I suppose, right? No. Yeah.
Scarlet Witch
No.
had a
Black Widow. I'm sorry. I always get Scarlett Johansson confused and Scarlet Witch. I
yeah,
always got
that's
mixed
right.
them
Black
together.
Widow doesn't because
Black Widow.
the other version of that didn't have the gauntlet. That's right.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So yeah, so 3 artisan figures that do not have a sculpted. That's crazy. I wonder how they decide that and why they do. Man. But Justin, are you a Harley fan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
You going to be getting this one? Yeah, I am. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what happened here? It's like, what? Oh, there we go. Yeah, dude, I'm definitely getting this. I mean, I'm with Dlo. Like, I grew up with the Batman animated series, man. So like, that's my Harley in a way, you know. So this is, I think Margot Robbie did about as good as you could do with like a live action version of the character. I've been waiting. I would have already had a Harley, man, but some of those ones, especially those Birds of Prey figures, man, like the knees and stuff on those,
Yeah.
like those look terrible. This to me is the best combination of everything I wanted. Like, not only did I really enjoy James Gunn's Suicide Squad, but I also just think that you get a mixture of that one that everybody loves, that a lot of people consider almost like a Grail type figure from the original one, and you got a little bit of that with like the personality, with the expression. But I love this take on the Harlequin, like, you know, the costume, like Dilo was saying, like the biker jacket, like the pants. The dress would have been cool, don't get me wrong, but I actually prefer this simply because it's going to hide some of those things that I think would have been maybe eyesores on the figure. So the accessories that this comes with, it's just going to be awesome, man. The one thing I do agree, and Dilo pretty much spoke truth on it all. Like, and I agree pretty much with everything he said. I don't know if this had to be an artisan with the hairstyle. In fact, even in some of the pictures, she's like holding the hair to like really show you, like, hey, look at this. You can move this hair around.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm glad. I think that Hot Toys definitely wanted to put this at 3,000 just simply because with all this other stuff coming out, it's like, hey, we want your money right now. Like, let's go ahead and get these NRDs going. I don't know, man. I'm really hyped for this. I think it looks great. I'd be lying to you if I said that the 3,000 limited doesn't appeal to me as well. I think that that's kind of cool. It kind of adds like a more collecting aspect to it. I do wish that there would have been a sculpted version though, kind of like with that Tom Holland Spidey. The Black Widow didn't bother me because I feel like with that hairstyle, that had to be artisan to really bring that character to life. This one, I really think they could have done a sculpt and it looked just as good. But I'm not going to complain. I'm just glad we're getting this character, and I just love the outfit, man. I just think it brings back some animated series vibes, and I don't know. Just for me personally, I'd actually prefer this over the outfit that she even wore in the first Suicide Squad. Like, this is just kind of, it brings me back to that animated series look, which I prefer.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It still bothers me because I do want that traditional Margot Robbie look from Suicide Squad. I don't know if they're gonna make that now because obviously they're wanting to get as many figures as as many, I guess, a variety of figures, right? For artisan is what it's kind of looking out to be. Like we even got a Luke Skywalker, right? Like we're not getting multiples yet. I'm sure that will come, but for me, I was like, oh, they're getting the best version of each figure, right? So we got, Anakin Skywalker. To me, the best version of Black Widow. Maybe not the best version of Jack Sparrow, but like, a really badass version of that. So I figured that we would get, that Suicide Squad look. Now that being said, this movie is way better. This look is badass, and the other option is available. So I'm not mad, right? It's just I agree with Justin. Like those knees bothered me a lot with that figure, the previous figure. But I think now I might have to get this, and I might backtrack and go for that other Harley eventually, because that's a figure I really want now. Whereas before I was like, I don't need it. I feel like it's coming, and now I have to go get it. So, Harley Quinn is badass, and I don't think I was a huge fan of Harley Quinn until maybe the second Arkham game, maybe Arkham City. Like I knew of her and I seen her around, but I didn't become a fan of Harley Quinn until like Arkham City. And then when the movie came out, I was excited, and it was Margot Robbie, and I loved Margot Robbie in a few other movies. So, but yeah, I mean, this is cool. I actually, at first I was like, oh, she doesn't come with much, so that bothered me. But then as I'm looking, I'm like, you know what? She does come with a lot. She comes with a few different weapons. She comes with a big ass bag, like a spear looking thing. I actually like that she's holding up her hair like that. I think that's pretty sweet. But I mean, shoot, putting her hair in that fist like that, I feel like it's going to tear it up a little bit if you want to do that look. And I forget who said it, but how long is that hair going to last? The outfit's pleather, correct?
Yep. That's
So
the other thing everybody's upset
That's
about.
a worry. And it's like, if you could do a full-on Terminator like leather, why can't you, for an artisan, why can't you do it for that? So
this won't be the only Harley we get, I don't think. I think we're going to get another Margot Robbie Harley, like relatively, like probably sometime next year.
Okay.
I definitely think that there'll be another one. I don't think she'll reprise the character personally, but I just feel like she's made this role almost so iconic for her as an actor. Like, and I feel like this sculpt is new enough to where it really looks a lot better than, again, I keep going back to those Birds of Prey figures just because there's a lot to like about those, man, but the sculpts on those are weird. So I would have loved to have seen a default sculpt for this. But again, with that wool hair, man, like now they're having to give us 2 wool hair sculpts. Now the price is gonna be $800, but
Right.
See, I like that. I'm with you, Brick. That's starting to grow on me a little bit, man.
It's cool, man.
Hair,
like it's
dude.
cool. She's doing like a little flip, like what's up?
It
I
looks
really
like she's about to attach it to those Avatar beasts, to like ride it. Like
I really like the tat, man. Like I feel like that looks really good.
Oh, you're gonna be showing off that tat, aren't you, Brick?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Does anybody know for sure? Because I'm seeing a lot of people post in comments that this is a reuse head sculpt, though. Is that accurate?
I don't know for sure, but it definitely looks a lot like it.
Because now that I look at it again, like there's a lot of resemblance to the Suicide Squad one, the first one that came out with the big open mouth. So,
oh yeah.
Do I actually already own this figure, but this is just a repainted version rooted?
Right. I wonder if it's the same knees too, just under the pants.
Dang, dude, if it's got the same knees, man, we might have to backtrack on what we're saying, Brick.
I mean, then it's covered by the pants. I don't think it's going to be the same one, guys. I think you're safe.
No, Brick always checks the knees of his figures. You know that, Dlo.
Yep, always. Got to listen. Yeah.
It's a wild review there. So I pulled off the pants. We're good.
Just so you know, not the same knees.
But spoiler alert, I'm not putting them back on.
Damn, dude. I will say, okay, this is my favorite picture of the whole thing.
The side profile is good.
Yeah, I feel like the likeness there is the best in any other photo. Like, I just think they captured the side view perfectly, man. Yeah. I don't even think this would be a bad idea to pose the figure like this in your display from like
just kind of from the side. I like that.
Yeah.
The one thing that does bother me with this figure is that it's artisan, and we have. This is cool. I like the material. I like it all. It looks really good.
Look. It's a great look.
But what pisses me off is that this is an artisan figure, and that's the base we get. Like, yeah, I feel like
we did you want like a diorama?
I mean, anything. I don't want like this old school crap, base that we get with all the other traditional figures. Like, this is artisan, top of the line Hot Toys, 3,000 limited. We could have gotten something. I don't, whatever it was. I mean, it could have been, a couple of those little stars laying on the ground, or, whatever. I mean, I don't know.
You think the number is a little low, though, don't you think, for 3,000 for Harley Quinn? You think?
I think it's pretty low. Yeah.
Do you think it's kind of a sign of how they feel about maybe the confidence in this figure as well, too?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Those Birds of Prey figures sat for a while, but again, man,
you catch them a drip, Justin. Yeah.
Yeah, they just weren't good though. Like I don't know if that was a testament to the character as much as it's a testament to like those figures. One, the movie was not well received.
Right.
Plus the figures just kind of came out mid, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I'm interested to see how this one does, Dlo. I think this is definitely a testing thing. Like it's like, okay, we're gonna get 3,000 here. Let's see how this sells. Probably gonna sell out because it's artisan, it's 3,000, whatever. then maybe we'll start bringing out some more. Because again, man, I don't see anybody playing Harley Quinn anytime soon other than Margot Robbie. So I feel like we're gonna get another one at some point.
Right. I mean, if you had to pick, I mean, who do you want, Margot Robbie? You want Lady Gaga?
Oh no, I don't want a Lady Gaga.
Just saying.
See, that's the thing too, man. Is I'm thinking we're gonna get that one, but at the same time, I don't know how that one would sell, to be totally honest with you, unless they do a limited run of that one as well. Just because, again, I haven't seen the movie yet. Maybe she knocks it out of the park, but I would be hard pressed to think that she captures like Harley Quinn as well as Margot Robbie did, especially for us, Dlo, like people that grew up with animated series. We kind of have that attachment.
She's not. Version. She doesn't seem like that quirky, goofy, high pitched voice, like fun but violent kind of Harley. She just seems depressed and violent, Lady Gaga. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I mean, it fits its own in the movie, I suppose.
It does. It does 100%. But when you compare it to like traditional Harley, you know, you know, I just feel like people like this version a lot.
Gaga's a beast, man. She's got her own following, you know? Like, imagine if like not to change the subject for a second, but imagine if like the rumors were true about Deadpool and Taylor Swift was like Bedazzled or whatever her name was supposed to be. Like, none of us would pick that up, but every Swiftie on the planet would. You know, I think the same thing with Gaga. I don't know what she calls her fan base, but you know, I can see if like it'll be a sleeper for those folks. It wouldn't be for us. It'd be for her fans. I think
I'd be lying to you if I said that I wouldn't be interested to get like a, you know, I do like the look of that character, especially when she's walking up the steps to Joker in the trailer. I really like that look quite a bit. I'm not going to sit here and say I'd get it, but the thing I'm more interested in, you know, we're about to get into the new DCU with James Gunn, which is great for toy manufacturers.
Oh, I can't wait
because James Gunn at least you've seen it with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sure he's going to do the same thing. We're going to get a lot of new looks for a lot of iconic characters, so we're about to get a whole new wave of that. I am interested to see if Hot Toys continues to give us stuff from James Gunn's The Suicide Squad other than Harley Quinn. Like, I wonder if we're ever going to get anything else. I would doubt it, just because that movie, again, it came out during the pandemic and stuff, man. I think it went straight to Max, didn't it? And I just don't think it did well. But I don't really know if it's
it went to Max pretty quick. I don't remember if it was. I think it was straight to Max. Was it?
It was no. Actually, I saw it opening weekend. It was the first movie I saw back from the pandemic. But it was at that weird time where Max was getting same day release as theatrical.
That's right. That's right. Because that happened with the Godzilla vs Kong too. It was like the same day.
Bunch of movies during that time. The first Dune was like that too.
Yeah, that's right.
Dune 1 was like that. So,
and I remember watching the first Dune the first time. It was late at night. I was like, I thought this was gonna be great. It's really boring. And then I watched it again a couple weeks later. I was like, this is amazing.
That's how I felt. Don't feel bad. I felt that way with the first Dune as well. After I watched the second one, I went back and watched the first one, and the first one's way better now. I mean, the second one, we already know what that is, man. That's an absolute.
Yeah. But the second one made the first one much better. And I feel
it really does.
To me, I feel like that's what the next Batman movie is going to do for me. It's going to make that first. That's what Penguin's already doing for me.
Me and you were great. You were on the same
man.
Yeah, we're on the same page with that, Brick. I've been saying that. I'm with you, man. I wasn't a fan of that first Batman, to be totally honest. I do think the sequel could change. Like it once I see what they're going to do with the whole story.
Yes.
But let me ask y'all this real quick, if you don't mind.
No.
What version of this character? So we're getting 3,000 piece Margot Robbie Harley Quinn. It's got to be one version of it. You can't pick what we already have. Was there another version? I know the red dress has been talked about. Would that be the version for you guys?
You know what? I'll jump in here real quick, Rick. I would say the flashback scene in the first Suicide Squad movie where Joker and Harley are dancing with a jester outfit.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I would have
jumped
over hurdles to get to that one. Like
that would feel like a limited piece too, you know, because it was a limited scene in the movie. That'd really feel like a limited run, you know.
Dude, even and I know a lot of people don't like that version of the Joker, but having a 2-pack of that would be really cool. That'd be a really
if
cool
that's
thing.
how I had to get it, Brick, I would buy it.
Yeah, if it was like a 2-pack artisan edition, $600, you know, whatever. I think I would do that. But you know, I know we have the prison look, right? Yeah. But I think I would still want that for like artisan. but I know you said something we don't have. But that flashback scene, it's really the only one I can think of right now too that we don't have.
Yeah.
Because now
Would
that we
y'all
have
have
the biker
preferred to
look.
get like a 2.0 of that one that's out from the original Suicide Squad, but as an artisan, would y'all have preferred that over this?
Me personally, yes.
Okay.
But I'm still happy with this. The more I look
Yeah.
at this, the more I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
this. So, what about you, Dlo?
I'm all in on this one here. I already told you my
Yeah.
reasons
Yep.
before.
Nice,
I
man.
mean, like I said, the first one, it was an adjustment because you got to remember, like, I mean, Joker looked weird, you know, what the
Mhm.
liberties they took with him. So I mean, everybody looked much different than what I remember them in the animated, the cartoons, the animated movies, you name it. Every source material you can think of, they really had carte blanche as far as what they could do creatively to change it. And it was a little bit of an adjustment, but like I said, over time, like it really grew on me. It really grew on me as far as the whole look is concerned. So now I love it, but originally when it first came out, no. This one here, when I saw this version, when I saw the teaser for it, I immediately was like, yes, I wanted this one. This is what I wanted. So, you know, I was bummed out when they didn't make it years ago, right? Because all we got was King Shark, and we got Fortune, and we got Peacemaker through his TV show. So just have an opportunity to get this now, like, dude, I'll take what I can get.
Dude, whoever
Yeah.
kept that King Shark, it's gonna look nice with her and Peacemaker. Like, you know, you're finally starting to add those. It kind of reminds me of Thunderbolts, you know, where
Yeah.
and you know, Dilo, you mentioned it in our messages, like it's like the Marvel version of Suicide Squad, right? But like to figure wise too, where you have like a couple of the figures kind of separate from everything else. You know, you got your Yelena, and then you have your Taskmaster, but and then you know, but it's all from like different, you know, movies because of Winter Soldier, right? So it would be nice if when that show comes out, Thunderbolts, or you know, or even with Suicide Squad, we do get all these figures. I feel like it sells better. Like that's a lot. That's a reason why the Guardians Volume 3, a lot of people aren't getting all those figures because they didn't come out with Drax. So it kind of ruined that. People canceled orders, you know, and I feel like when you complete a line, more people are willing to stick with that line and to buy multiple figures from that line. So
Well, and as good as that line looks, like I think the body proportions look great. I've actually seen like where I think Star-Lord is already out, kind of, and I've seen pictures of that. It looks
I saw.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I will say that the deal with the team suit, it's the same deal with the Avengers Endgame space suits that they were going to come out with, and they ended up only doing a Tony Stark. That gets boring quick, man. Like, I mean, like having the same suit and all you got to rely on is the sculpt. That's why I prefer something like this, because it's like a great look for the character. And honestly, man, for a lot of people, and this might be even me included, this is probably the only Harley I'm going to need and want. Again, the suit, if it is pleather, that does bother me a little bit because of the longevity, but I'll cross that bridge when it comes, you know? So like this to me has the best of everything. It feels like a mashup, like a greatest hits of her performance throughout the movies to me.
That's true. That's true. I feel that way too. But if they came out with a second Artisan Harley and it was that from, you know, Suicide Squad, that look, I would just have two Harleys.
Yeah,
like,
I would too.
And I'm cool.
I'm
with,
lying
I'm cool
to you.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lying.
I'm weak as well, man. They come out with one of these
dude,
artists.
I am
like,
too, man.
Fall in.
and this, something I want to say is, you know, and I'll be the first to admit it. When Artisan was kind of first starting, I wanted to try and get every Artisan figure and collect every Artisan figure because I was like, this is cool. Like, you know, having a chance to get all these Artisan figures, whether they mean anything to me or not. And of course, it started getting out of hand a little bit, at least for me personally. And it just goes to show, if you're a type of collector out there that wants to make sure you hold off and get something that you want and need, if you're in that boat of kind of like 50-50, at least in my opinion. And because things like this pop out, an Artisan Harley Quinn, you know, an Artisan Jack Sparrow, or Artisan Black Widow. Whereas I have, you know, Loki and Luke Skywalker. It's like, do I need those? Like, you know, I'm not the biggest Loki fan. Do I need Loki? Like, you know, do I keep that? But Harley is one that I know 110% that I will keep that, you know, keep that pre-order, keep that figure and hold on to it.
And that's what it needs to be, Brick. And I think Dlo, you may agree with this as well. Like for an artisan figure at that price point, I feel like that's kind of the feeling you kind of need. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I don't need every artisan, but if it feels like you just said, Brick, 110% for sure getting it, I'd rather get that piece and maybe cancel, not go with a couple of other ones that I like but don't love. Because that's really kind of where we're getting now, at least for me anyway, is got to be way more selective with all this stuff coming out, especially with these figures reaching that $400-$500 price point, man. So,
yep, man. But
I'm excited for DC collectors, man. I'm excited for DC collectors like Dlo with this because it hasn't been the best time. And I think they're about to enter in like a really fun phase of films and fun phase of characters.
Dude,
so
I am
excited.
super excited for James Gunn to take over DC because he has not failed us yet. He took a really shitty movie other than Harley Quinn, in my opinion. I thought Will Smith did a pretty decent job too, but he took a really terrible, he took a terrible plot, a terrible film overall, and made it something special, made a great TV show. At least I still haven't finished it. I don't want to act like it's great when I haven't finished it, but everyone says it is. And Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the best, in my opinion, best trilogies. I would say top 10 at least trilogies, maybe top 7 trilogies of all time, in my opinion. And so going into Superman, Batman, Supergirl, like, Green Lantern, I am beyond stoked for that. So cannot wait to be a DC fan again. Like I've always loved DC, but like I'm excited for this. I'm excited for like
Dlo never left, baby.
Feels good, baby.
No,
it feels good.
but like I don't know. I can't wait. But
it's a good time, man.
Yeah.
Do you think this is more of a Batman 80 question? So you think this is more of a Batman 85 release, or do you think this is more of, because we got so many announcements for so many wonderful companies in the last few days that we're getting this year? Because it's a random Monday here in the States, and just like, here we are. Oh, we got your figures you've been waiting for. Here's your Bane. Here's all your. Oh, by the way, here's an artist in Harley. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye. October 3rd. See you there. It's like
that's what I think. Yeah, I think
Isn't
this
it
is. Let's go back to the think tank. What do we got? We've been working on that Harley Quinn. All right, throw it up. Let's throw it up because we can't let anybody have the news cycle for 24 hours.
Right.
Insane. That's why I'm hoping like this might be just like an early rendition of her, because again, that head sculpt, in my opinion, it's not the greatest. It could be better. If this is the older head sculpt, it definitely is aged. Like I have the original Suicide Squad 1 version of her. It's definitely starting to show its age at this point. So if this is a repainted version, a little bummed out, a little disappointed. I'm hoping that this is a placeholder and they do what they've been doing recently and been updating the sculpts as they get closer to launch, which if that's going to be the case, okay, not mad. But if I had to scream and rant now, Hot Toys, I will, because I don't want you to take this as no one's mad at this. Please fix it. I think it deserves to be the best version of Harley Quinn it's going to be, because
they've been showing
no guarantee she's going to come out again. There really isn't.
Yeah, and they've been showing that they'll that before release they'll touch up a head sculpt, or they're like, so that's what I'm excited for too. Dlo is like, they're starting to show that at least maybe they're not listening a lot, maybe they're going to do it anyway, but we're seeing them make those changes and make those adjustments closer to release, so that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great where it's at. Like, this is a really good start there. But again, just reading from the comments in the community, there's a lot of people who are just kind of hit or miss with this head sculpt. And I've heard, like I said, I've heard that it's a reuse. And if it is, like, hey, like Hot Toys, like, hey, this is such a great figure. Please go all out. There's so many fans of this character. She's so beloved. She's basically our version of Deadpool. Like, if you want to like compare it, like the love you're showing for Deadpool and what that right now, show the same for Harley. She's such an iconic character in herself. And Margot Robbie, honestly, it's going to be hard watching Joker 2 and watching somebody else play Harley Quinn. Even if it's going to be a completely different interpretation. It just feels like Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. So like, can you please get her right for us collectors, if you don't mind, Hot Toys? That's all I ask.
Yeah, get her right. I mean, how much do you guys think this is going to be?
Dang,
with a simple base, I think it's gonna be 4 something.
4, at least I'm thinking 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be in that range there. I mean, I would be surprised if it's under 4. I would. Just, I think it goes more than Black Widow, but not higher than any of the artisans besides that one. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's going to be.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, yeah, maybe $5 more than Black Widow, something like that.
How much was Black Widow?
Shoot, man,
Gosh,
that was a while ago.
Like 365.
She's 385 maybe.
That's what. 385 sounds about right. I just know that I don't know, man. The Iron Spider has all that stuff. Plus, it's Spider-Man. It has all that stuff with it. Those accessories. This does come with some accessories, but unlike the God Loki, you don't get that diorama base. But there's more going on with the outfit here.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I'd be shocked if it didn't clock in right around 4.
yeah, she's 385. So, yeah, I say it's a safe bet. She's above that.
Yeah.
390,
395, 400. Yeah, I'll just say 400, I guess. But real quick, just want to say hi to the chat. Guys, we got 33 in the house. Make sure to hit that like button on your way in. Thank you for being here. We have, real quick, I do want to say hi out loud to Manaha Collectibles. Thank you for being here, sir. Thank you for being a member of the channel and always supporting. We have also SG Collectibles. What's up? What is up, man? We got Jazzy in the house as well. And yeah, everyone's kind of saying they really like this figure. X-Man, I wish they hadn't just recycled the same damn sculpt for this. And they're still doing pleather. Damn it. But I'm still gonna get her. Yeah, I'm gonna. This is 100% for me, like we said. And I want to, not saying that Dlo said this was going to happen, but I agree with Dlo in the fact that, like, I hope that when this is actually released, that we have that updated head sculpt like we've been seeing. And yeah, it could happen, but it looks good. Either way, it looks good. I think the paint applications look great on it.
Yeah.
If I don't get through all your comments, I am sorry, guys. We just got a lot to talk about yet. Clinton Martin, howdy, folks. What is up, man? Your Bears, though. What do you think about Caleb Williams? I love you, man. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. You almost saying he's got to skip this one, unfortunately, for now. Try to jump on the wait list. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. You guys think this is like end of 25 release, the way it's going?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Collection Obsession saying Hot Toys being lazy. They don't want to deal with giving us joints that don't show. I feel they will eventually be doing another better Harley. I think so too.
Yep, I agree.
But at the same time, whether they're being lazy or not, we still get a version that a lot of people, such as Dlo, and Justin, want. So this is something to add to your Harley collection, to your DC collection. And I agree. I think we are going to get that other Harley look from the first movie eventually. Again,
I definitely think this appeals more to customers like myself, Brick, who like don't have a Harley yet, kind of newer to the 6 scale collecting. Because to me, it's like I want it, but I get it if you have that other one and the sculpt is potentially reused on this one. I totally get that. Yeah.
Jedi saying the more I think about this, the more it should have been OG Margot as Harley or the red dress. Good evening, Stacy. What is up? Saying good evening, guys. Starting to see you guys nightly. Yeah, one of us is on every night, basically. So, but man, Daddy's Little Monster is the best outfit. Yeah, it's a good outfit. It's a good outfit. I would say this for me is probably number 2. So I am excited about this. We got Action in the Box in the house. Hello, my friends. What is up, man? Good to see you around. Always a fan. Giovan in the house as well. Hi, y'all. Here and ready to on sub for the 500th time. Yeah, we have our differences. Yeah, it's an old joke with some stuff that I talked about with Batman rankings and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. Evil Sneaker, what is up, guys? Evil Sneaker just streamed right before this show came on. So, guys, go check out him, fellow Wolfpack member. And I feel like you're streaming every day, man. You're like 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. So guys, I'm sure every single one of you guys already know and I've been checking out. But if you haven't yet, make sure to give it a look, and I'm sure you'll love what you see. We have Ziff76 in the house. Evening, all evening. Love that profile picture. Let's see. My dudes, Loki Collector, watching as well. We got to get you back on the show as well, man. Get you back on here. I'm sure you will be trying to go for this Harley Quinn as being one of the bigger Batman fans. You and Dlo and Graham. So, yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, guys, if I skipped your comments, I do apologize. Jedi Knights Watch saying 385. I'm guessing he was talking about
the price. Yeah, the price for Black Widow, I believe.
Yeah. So okay, so we have a couple of other figures I want to talk about. We got 40 in the house. Thank you guys for being here. Stick around. We do have a small little giveaway at the end of the show called Take It or Leave It. It's a fun little game that one of you lucky people in the chat will be able to play. But until then, let's go ahead and talk about something that I know Dlo for a fact. I know Justin as well. I know both you guys are extremely excited for this figure. This is one that I passed up on, and now that it's released, I very well wish I did not, because he looks really, really good. Justin, I'm going to start with you this time, man. Do you have this one pre-ordered? Are you waiting for this one?
Oh, yeah. This is arguably my most anticipated figure of the year.
Ooh.
I cannot wait to have this, dude. Dark Knight trilogy for me, you were talking about greatest trilogies of all time. For me, that's like one or two. I mean, I love Dark Knight trilogy.
I like this guy.
Yeah, man. Dlo,
I like this guy.
I'm going to go quick, man, because I want to hear your thoughts on this too. I haven't got to talk with you about this yet, so I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it. But I'll try to be quick. But I have a lot to say about it because it looks phenomenal. The pictures, like, I love that in this figure, they're able to capture the essence of the character with when he has the shirt off and it's got those seamless shoulders and arms and it's got the scar going up the back, the veins on the side of the head, the eyes peering through. Dude, this figure looks phenomenal, man. I really think when this gets in hand, and I'm biased because I've been hyped for this figure for a long time, I think this is one of the best releases of the year, no question. Like, wow. I just think that it looks fantastic. I love what the new technology they're doing with that body. It just looks amazing, man. I really felt like they captured it. There's a picture in here, though, where he's holding part of that base and he's about to hit Batman with it. That takes me out of it a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I don't know how that made the final cut.
Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
It is absolutely wild, dude. But, I mean, these figures, yeah. Man, look at this, dude.
It looks good. I feel bad going through all these. Yeah, let's go back. I was going to find that one picture, but yeah, dude, this looks.
I mean, this look where he was doing it the whole movie. There's almost 3 different looks because in the movie, these 3 different looks they're showing you are all different versions of the character, man. And I don't know, dude. I'm going to kick it over to Dlo, but I truly think this looks phenomenal. I truly believe this is a must-have piece for any collector. Like, I think it is a figure that I'm not sure when we're going to get our next Tom Hardy Bane. I think this is a must-have. I really do.
Yeah.
Damn, it looks good.
I thought you said it was going to be short.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm that hyped for it, man. I've been waiting for this one, dude.
I'm not in my head. Every time you're saying something, I was like, yep, the man's speaking the truth. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I got to say, like, this is the weird stuff about like collecting now, because we have so many figures announced on a regular basis, like today, for example, that like gems like these are like set it and forget it for a while. People are hyped when it comes out, and then you just goes dark for a little while. And then when it comes out of the factory there, man, damn, does this piece look good? Does this thing look good? I mean, coming from the 1.0 that I had, there was a lot to be desired with that first figure. And holy cow, did Hot Toys say, hold my beer, because I got something for you with this 2.0. The fact that this is a brand new body and it looks so damn good. I mean, honestly, I think he might be a little too big for Tom Hardy, but I don't care. It looks that damn good. Like, this is right now, in my opinion, if nothing else wows me for the rest of the year, this is quite frankly gonna be my figure of the year. And that's saying something because
Wow.
we have
Two of you.
had the best year ever in Hot Toys history for releases, at least. I mean, obviously, we'll revisit my comments in 2025, right? But for now, 2024, if you're looking for something that encapsulates what's different about Hot Toys this year, it's this. To have a new body like this would not have happened 4 years ago, 5 years ago. It would be another rehash of something else. They went to town and made a custom body that, quite honestly,
Wow.
I mean, with the embedded stitching, I mean, scarring the back of the neck, that's a one-off. I mean, you can maybe paint over it, but that's there. They made it specifically for this figure. So when you're buying this figure, every piece that is on there is brand new for this, and that's awesome. You don't see that very often from Hot Toys. So the fact that there's every look for the most part, I think the only one that's missing is probably the Wall Street, the motorcycle car chase / the Batpod. I think that's the only look that's missing from what I saw from these photos here. But everything else is there. I mean, honestly, going through these photos, I'm never a big person about getting doubles, but when I saw the photos for the first time, for a moment, I thought about finding the second one because it's that damn good. It really is that damn good. And picking up the camo tumbler as well too. I've seen the tumbler in person. That is a big vehicle. It requires a big investment in your space, but I'm not gonna lie. Having Bane on a camo tumbler, because they're gonna make it. It's gonna happen. And matter of fact, I think now that I mentioned Jazz Inc., I think is doing 2 versions of the tumbler. So the camo one and the Batman one. So it's gonna happen from either Hot Toys, but definitely from Jazz Inc. Having him on top of a tumbler might be worth the price of admission, to be honest with you there. But yeah, man, I mean, the head sculpt's phenomenal. The photos are beautiful. I didn't see the photo you guys were talking about. I kind of took you out. I haven't seen it yet, but like when you show it to me, let me know.
I think it was right here. Let's see. Right here. Was it this one?
That's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I may have missed that scene in the movie. I'm not gonna lie. But that photo aside, every other photo has been 10 out of 10. Like, me, guys. Like, if you've ever seen me on Wednesdays, I am very critical. I do not hold my tongue. I'm 100% honest on how I feel about a figure. And I know I'm a DC man, but I can appreciate a good figure. And I think you guys can admit, whether you're a Star Wars guy, Marvel guy, whatever you are, this is a damn good figure. Period. Yeah. So, man, if you're interested in getting into DC, welcome. This is what we have to offer you. Look at this. Gosh.
So many different looks too, man. Like you guys were saying, it looks so good.
The only thing they're missing is that black shirt underneath that, like Dlo said, man, if I was to ever get 2 of something, like as odd as it sounds, this would be up there, man, because you could legitimately have this look for Final Battle Batman, with your DX-19 or the new Armory suit or whatever. And then you can have him with the coat on top of the Batmobile for, when he's overtaking Gotham, that whole scene. It's just a beautiful figure, man. Dlo just got me hyped all over again.
Dude.
And like Dlo said, like I'm more like when I talk about stuff, I have to like go back and be like, okay, maybe I was too hyped about it. So to hear Dlo, who not in a bad way, but like who's a little bit more like has a more critical eye to like seeing the details and stuff, for him to say all that, man, makes me feel good because it's like we're on the same page. This looks phenomenal, dude.
Yeah, it looks really good. Some people are saying they're going to get 2. Like KG here. Welcome, KG. Thanks for joining. Might get 2 of these. So you won't be the only one, Dlo. This is
I didn't say for sure. I still need to get a Harley now, guys.
Yeah, right. Gosh, this is see, it's tough because when you do make up your mind on, like for me, for example, on, hey, yeah, I do want this figure. Well, now it's released. So you never know. It could be 2 weeks from now. It could be a month from now, 2 months from now, when that invoice comes. And yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, gosh, you should have been smart and just pre-ordered it. But I think this was coming out, like I think this was announced around the time I started collecting, right, Dlo? What
It's
did
been a
this
minute,
announce?
man. Yeah, I mean
Like
that
a little over 2
whole
years, maybe.
that whole Dark Knight line just got a big kick in the nuts, and everything was getting reissued, and we got 2.0s. I mean, I know Selena
Yeah.
Kyle. I think Justin, I know you were very hyped about getting that Catwoman for a long time.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think this was the last one to be announced in that initial wave, and then obviously the armories and so on and so forth kept coming out more and more. But yeah, I think this one has purrs, does it not? If I'm not mistaken, this one has a eye rolling system. This is the first one that had it.
Yes.
Yeah, it
I believe
should. I
it.
thought I saw
Well,
that.
I hope so, because that's big for me with this figure. But that's a good question,
It
because I don't
has
know
to
for a
have
fact.
it.
But
Let me
I would
look at it
feel
real
like it
quick.
does. I'm feeling like it's got the one where you just take it off completely, and it's got that that technology. But
I would
I'm gonna
assume.
I gotta look it up here for a second. Give me one
the
While-
second.
only
while
the
you-
only the only complaint I was gonna say, Brick, is if I'm being very trying to find something. I do have the Selena Kyle Catwoman, the Anne Hathaway Catwoman,
Yep.
and the base for that. To have another one that's the exact same as that one.
Yeah.
I wish the base would have been different, but I know that a lot more people are going to be getting this Bane than they did the Catwoman, so I'm okay with it. But if I had to pick one thing that I wish could have been a little bit better, it would have been the base that comes with this, or the diorama base that comes
Yeah, that's
with
kind of weird that they have the same base, because a lot of fans of Dark Knight, I guess Dark Knight Rises, you would think would get both, right? I mean, I guess not everybody, but a lot.
It does.
This
has
is
it.
it does have
Nice,
the
nice.
the
Yep,
eye
it does
rolling.
have it.
That's good. That's good. But this is, the Joker by far probably the greatest villain on screen of all time. But for me, I loved the story of The Dark Knight Rises. I like how it ended. I like everything about Rises. I thought Bane is amazing. I think he's underrated and overlooked by the Joker a lot when it comes to this trilogy. And this is Tom Hardy's probably best movie. This and Warrior. I don't know if you guys ever saw that movie. But that
Warrior's
movie is phenomenal.
fantastic
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. But between these two movies, there's a couple other ones that you could say too, but just his performance in this is
Well, and Brick,
awesome.
how many Heath Ledger Jokers have we already gotten, and we're going to continue to get? That's what makes this so special.
Yeah.
And I think that's why somebody's been collecting even as long as Dlo has. Man, I think that's why he's so excited, is because how often are we going to get Tom Hardy Bane? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot more rare to get this character, as opposed to, as great as it is, we get a ton of Heath Ledger Joker, and we're going to continue to. So. Yeah, man, this is awesome.
And speaking of villains, KG said it. Just letting you guys know, the rumors are Scarecrow is imminent. The source got the Harley Quinn and Andrew Spidey right. Yeah, I've been seeing that all over, and yeah, it's going to be it. And he okay, it's Cillian Murphy, right?
Cillian
That's
Murphy.
how you pronounce his first
Mm-hmm.
name. Okay,
Yep.
He's becoming like big time. This guy is like a star. He's an Oscar winner now. So
long overdue.
To get that figure, and now he's doing like a 28 years later movie, right? Like this guy's awesome.
Peaky
like
Blinders movie right now.
Yep, Peaky Blinders movie. But to go from like Oppenheimer and doing like a movie like that, getting that Oscar, and then going back to your roots to do 28 years later, like good on you, man. Like that's cool that you're a cool dude for going back and finishing off that. I don't know if this would be figure of the year for me, but it definitely is up. It's up there. I kind of agree with KG. It's up there with Vader. That Kenobi Vader is sick in person. And I don't have Kenobi Vader, which is sad, but I don't. But yeah, there's just been a lot of good figures coming out. And there's gonna be a lot more released. So every figure craft, they definitely developed new technology on the silicone. Has anyone noticed on the Hana Wolverine, his arm hair is kind of molded in the arm? I assume it's the same method this Bane's scars. I did not notice that. I'd have to look more into that. I don't have the Wolverine figure, so I'd have to watch a review, look a little bit more into that. But
yeah. I was just going to say that technology on the back, like when you look at the back, Brick, like the one you showed with the scar.
Yep.
I'm not intelligent enough about the app, what they do to get that effect, so I can't answer that question. But I will just say that, to me, looks like a real scar. Like that to me looks like a sculpted thing to me. Again, I know it's probably not, but that's how real it looks to me. Like it looks great.
It looks
so I don't
good.
Yeah. Dlo, do you know how they get this type of effect? Like with the scarring and stuff, how they
I mean, it's obviously during the molding process. I mean, with the silicone, like kind of like Figurecraft mentioned before. I mean, he's 100% right. Like with the process of silicone, again, I'm learning more about it because we're getting this more in figures. So I'm trying to catch up to like what exactly it is, and what's the difference between this medical grade that everybody's talking about, and just kind of. But from my understanding, it is part of the molding process there. So it's designed to be, as realistic as it could possibly be, and I mean, it's all part of it just to make sure that it doesn't break over time and rip and tear or something. So it's a very unique process. I mean, but as far as like the figure itself, going to this really seeing how far we're pushing it now with our figures. If you had something to cover that one arm, the left arm that shows the exposed peg, I would find it very hard for somebody an outsider who doesn't collect how we guys collect, show him a photo of this and think that wasn't Tom Hardy. Honestly. In fact, I'm pretty sure somebody at a news outlet is going to use this as a still for something and think it's Tom Hardy. Like just how realistic it looks there. You know what gets me excited about this here? And Brick, you're going to appreciate this because you just brought this up earlier in the show. How freaking cool if they use something like this to finally give us the ultimate Drax.
Dude, I was literally about to ask you guys. Do you think they could use like
mind,
this
man.
body?
I hang out you too much. I'm telling you.
Do you think they could use this body for a Drax? Because he's gonna be all covered up anyways. You don't need to see the scar, like even if it's there. Like,
well, I mean,
it's gonna have
that.
But the ultimate version, sure. Are you saying like from the first movie or?
Well, yeah, like exposed, like not like in the third movie where he has the coat on, but like if we get like Guardians 1 through Endgame, if you will, maybe Thor. Loving if you count that there, but you use this kind of technology for that. I mean, it'd be crazy hard to do because again, I was just gonna say you can't paint on the tattoos that Drax has. Like they're embedded into the skin, and they tried it once with a hard plastic, and it looked really bad. Like you couldn't move the torso because it was a still complete like flat, completely all hardened version, and then the arms were like the expendable ones that you have, right? The single jointed forearm. So it would be incredible to get something like that. But I think of Hot Toys, I think how they can be with their money sometimes. And I feel like they probably wouldn't just because that sounds expensive and that's just not their MO, Yeah. But I would love for them to do that. I mean, I don't care how many times you reissue that figure. You want to make a 1, 2, and 3 to make your money back. I just need one of them, But if they can make that, my goodness, how dope would that be?
And that's what I was thinking when they announced that Wolverine shirtless one. I was already and plus with this technology, I was thinking to myself, like, dude, we just got that T800. Now can we get a Predator? Can we get a Dutch with this type of look with these seamless silicone arms, man? Like you can get, I mean, if they really wanted to, man, like those type of characters with this technology, I feel like now that they're starting to get to where they're almost mastering this type of thing. Like, dude, who knows what we're going to get next? Like you said, Dlo, like maybe that's why Drax hasn't been announced for Volume 3. Maybe they're like, hey, do people really want Drax in the team suit? I know they want to finish the line, but a Drax without the shirt on would sell a lot better. It really would.
Yeah. I definitely see a Drax coming eventually, very soon, probably by next year. I think you were saying, Justin, next year, another Harley. I could see a Drax along with that. I mean,
yeah,
we think this year's crazy. Next year's gonna be way more crazy with like DC, all the new DC stuff. We have tons of Marvel stuff coming up, and
there's gonna be stuff out to make stuff based on. Like that's what's crazy about this year is we've gotten so much, and there's only been there's been one Marvel movie. There's been a handful of Star Wars shows. It's crazy how much we've gotten on a year that we all said 2.0, all that stuff here, the 2.0. But I think they found a great balance, and that's just Hot Toys, not to even mention the other companies that are just giving us heat right now.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to say hi to Movie Cannon. What is up, Evening Collectors? Go check him out as well. He's got a really good channel. I think he just hit 4K subscribers. So congratulations, Gio.
Congratulations, man.
Really awesome, man. You deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, everyone is kind of saying hi to each other. But yeah, this is a figure I know you guys are 100% on, as we kind of went over. I am going to be looking for this figure, but I'm a little worried that this is not one that's going to be easy to find like we've seen a lot of other figures lately. But I don't know. I could be wrong. We'll see. But we have one more Hot Toys figure that I want to talk about real quick. And it's another release. And I'm sure you guys, or at least Dlo, is way more excited for than I think myself and Justin. And Justin, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is Tech. So I did not watch all of Bad Batch, and I think he looks phenomenal. I know a lot of people that are in love with Bad Batch were like, "Where's Tech? When is Tech releasing? Like, what's when am I finally going to get my figure?" And here it is. And I think he looks really, really good. Actually, when figures like this come out, it makes me want to watch the show. And from what I've seen, he was one of my favorites. So I don't know. Dlo, tell me a little bit about this figure, the long wait, and do you have the rest of the Bad Batch, correct?
I do, yeah. Yeah. I was collecting Bad Batch before it was cool to collect the Bad Batch.
Right?
Yeah, no, I'm stoked. I love the Bad Batch, the show it is, and obviously the figures are just as cool as well too. Yeah, man, this has been a long time coming. It's been such a weird. This line itself has been so weird just for all of us collecting, because I think that's when we all had like that moment where we realized Hot Toys is not overproducing things like they were before. And I think we got our first real taste when Crosshair, out of all things, was the thing that was just completely sold out, and people were looking for it on the aftermarket for crazy prices. Still are at this point. I think it's going to go up again just because of now everything is out there. But yeah, as far as figure wise, as far as character wise, it came out fantastic. The figure is, in my opinion, an improvement over the prototype. The head sculpt specifically, I'm not sure if you saw the original. It's night and day. It's such a stronger like sculpt than when it started off with. So I'm very happy with that, because I thought when I saw the first time, I was like, "Ooh, that is never being used. That's staying in the box." But it looks way better now. I can definitely see myself doing the whole team with their head sculpts together there, because it definitely fits a lot better. But yeah, like figure wise, he's so different from the rest of the team. He stands out so much more. He pops just because everybody has a darker armor. He's the only one that has a more traditional white armor instead. But yeah, I mean, as far as, I don't want to get into it because I know you haven't seen it, and I don't want to ruin the show for anybody who may have not seen it. But let's just say, like, he's a very special character, and it's very exciting to finally get him home with the rest of the team. But yeah, I'm just thrilled that I can finally put the whole team together finally once and for all. And yeah, it's just gonna look sick in display.
Dude, that's awesome, man. I get so excited for people like you, like, Evil Sneaker, and I think Jedi is ready for this too, but just people like you guys that are just waiting and waiting, because I know that feeling with figures that I'm waiting for. And when it finally releases, now the only wait is like, okay, like when is Sideshow sending it, or whatever. But that's a great feeling. And it's something that Sideshow, or not Sideshow, that Hot Toys has been doing lately. Like I think I was talking to you guys earlier today, and kind of mentioning, like, it's weird because it's like we had a time where maybe a figure or two were either announced or released on like a Wednesday, right? And then we had another one on Thursday, another one on Friday. Lately, it's felt like it's all in one day. And so, like, you wake up in the morning, it's like boom, 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 like kind of like we were talking about in the show first started. Sorry, but it gives us so much excitement at one time, and it's almost overwhelming. But Justin, are you a Bad Batch fan?
I can't say no, because then I haven't watched it, so I don't want to say no, because I don't want people to think I don't think it's good. But
Because they'll unsub you after they unsub me. So,
Exactly, man. I can't afford that brick. I'm close, man. I'm close to 500. I can't
Dude,
afford none of that
congrats.
right now, man.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
but
Congrats.
I wasn't fishing for a compliment there, or maybe I was. No, I'm kidding. But here we go. I don't have much to say about this. I will say, I've said this from the beginning. Tech is my favorite look of all of these, even though I
Yeah.
don't watch the Bad Batch. The thing I really love about this line is that it can fit with even though it's animated, it can fit with your live action stuff. They did a great job of
Yes.
keeping the animated look while also having it fit in perfectly with, and I think that's why Star Wars is just so collectible, is any era of Star Wars can go together, man. Like they can really go together, and I think it just looks great. So I think it looks great. This is probably the best Bad Batch figure they've released, in my opinion. I just love the character to design. I think this is one that I would actually, I know, Clinton, it's okay, man. I get it. And I actually like him with the head sculpt on this one, man. I really like the head sculpt look as well. So, man, this is a great figure. This is a great release. If you're somebody who's been waiting to get this one to finish out the team, that's awesome. And just when you think you're in the Star Wars brick, because I'm a Star Wars fan.
Sure.
But people that are really into Star Wars, really collect Star Wars, I'm with you, man. It's always exciting to hear people get excited about the Bad Batch or get excited, even stuff that I'm not, into as much. But the whole team looks great, man. That's the cool thing about this whole line is if you were lucky enough to get the crosshair before it became $3,000, it just looks great together.
Yeah, looks sick there.
So Bad Batch is over with though, right? Like
yes.
Okay.
Correct.
And I heard it had a good ending, I believe. I just wasn't sure if that was a season finale or the series finale. Yeah. Now that I can just binge everything, I might get back into it because what I've seen, I like. Like it's not that I dislike it. It's just so hard. Like when you say you're gonna watch this show, that show, this show, that show, this movie, that movie, stream, do videos, collect, and then you still have a family.
Oh yeah,
it's so hard to like actually stick with that, stick to your word. But yeah, I think this is one I'm going to go back to sooner than later. This might be a fun show to watch like in December, like that one of those holiday shows. And even though it's not holiday show, but like that feel.
Yeah, you get the in between time, like when some of your shows are on hiatus or something like that. That's a great time to do it for sure.
Exactly.
It just kind of brings full circle real quick here, as far as like the Mando line, like just to get you guys like on board with this fast because everybody should be watching Bad Batch, but dude, characters from Mando show up in the Bad Batch figures that are already out there. So like kind of to your point there, Justin, like that's the beautiful thing about Star Wars. Like it is like, it's the synergy between lines and IPs within Star Wars. Like you're right. You can absolutely mix and match them there. And like there's a lot of connected tissue to a lot of the characters. So people that you have from Book of Boba Fett showed up on the show. People from the Clone Wars original, they're on the show. So, I mean, as a collector, like as collectors, like this is like perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you're into that model of Star Wars, the earlier Clone Wars prequel times, this is going to go well with your Anakins. This is going to go well with your Obis. I mean, anything you can think of, like your imagination is your only limitation to how you can collect these over here. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I'm really happy to get the team together because like I said before, like there's characters that show up and I'm gonna put them next to them there just to elevate like my display because I don't have to just say, oh well, it's Bad Batch alone, and then I got to figure out something else to put next to it. No, they all can work together, and it looks fantastic when you mix and match it. So yeah.
And Dlo said something really, really good. Like this came out better than he thought the prototype looked, and as consumers, for me, like that's what it's all about. Like it needs to at least come out as good as what they're advertising, and so when it comes out even better, like that's always cool, especially a last figure in a line of figures that you really love. Like if this one would have came out kind of not as good, that would have been frustrating. So they really put a lot of care into this line. Even somebody who doesn't watch the show, the line looks damn good together, man. And like really, you said, Rick, it almost makes you want to start getting into the show. And I feel like that's a testament to how good they made these look, man. It works for both animation and live action. So
yeah. You know what else it reminds me of? Halo. And why they haven't done a Master Chief? Man, You know, it has a look. You know, like when you play like Halo multiplayer and like you have all those different like armor that you can use, and so it's kind of cool on that end. But yeah, definitely need to get into the show. But then the problem is I'm gonna pull a Jedi and say, oh, the show's great, and I got to get all the figures now. And
Dude, it's so funny, man. I was just about to say be careful because I still
yeah.
remember it like it was yesterday. Graham, I got a DM from Graham, and he's just in it. And I'm sure y'all got the same one in probably a group chat or y'all are in, but he literally watched it like the day before, and then he had went and got 4 figures in the span of like a week.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So yeah,
guy's nuts.
Quinn Martin saying, got them all, but I put Crosshair up for sale a week ago or a few weeks ago, and no bites. So glad I didn't sell him. I bet you got to keep those. You got to keep those. That's for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, because Crosshair is almost taken on this like story. It's like a tall tale. You can tell like years from now. You're
That's
like
true.
the days of searching for a Crosshair.
You'll never my grandkids about the story.
Christian got his name legally changed. Like we think that that's just a name he's using on YouTube. No. He got it legally changed to Christian Crosshair Cooper. Man, that's what it meant to him. That's a great image, dude. I'm telling you, man. These are so cool. Like I love that image right there. I think these blogger photos sometimes they don't turn out as good, but I love what they're doing with these blogger photos in particular. Man, it really feels like a scene from the show. I really like it.
Yeah, they're getting a lot better with their blogger photos, man. That's for sure. That's for darn sure. Even some of the Bane ones looked like really good. So
yeah, that one where he's on top of the tumbler, man, like Dlo was saying. That's
so yeah. And the one with the football field behind him, like
dude, that was great.
Yep. So yeah, Tech looks really cool. I think he's my favorite look as well. So not getting him, but definitely a very cool figure, and I'm sure would look really awesome in anybody's collection. But guys, we do have one more figure to talk about that is not Hot Toys. But before we do that, I do want to go into the top or bottom segment and have a little bit of fun. I do have one top or bottom tonight. Usually I have like, anywhere between 1 and 3. Today we're going to make it 1, and hopefully you guys have some fun doing it. But before we do that, let me go ahead and hit that intro if I can find it. All right. So we have one top or bottom, and it kind of goes to show what all has been released. We were talking about how awesome this year has been for announcements, releases, and everything from Hot Toys. I took some of the last 12 figures that have been announced and made 10 of them to make a top or bottom. Now, these are some real heavy hitters here. I mean, we have Terminator, the T-800, Battle Damage. We have Batman Returns. We have Chewie. We have that awesome Predator. We got the Harley Artisan that we just got done talking about, and along with a few others. So now, again, if you guys in the chat aren't 100% sure how this is being played, it's basically this or that, except you have to choose all of the top row or all the bottom. So you might have to sacrifice a couple figures to get the one that you really want. And if you do that, then like, let's say you choose the top, the bottom, those figures never exist. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Justin on this one.
No,
my good sir, top or bottom?
I'll be honest with you, Brick. This one's good, man. This one's good because it has, like you said, man, these are fresh on the mind. So these are all hype right now. Okay. I'm probably going to have to go with the bottom. And the reason being is because the T800, out of all these that are listed, I would probably say the T800 is like number 1 of what I want out of everything on here. So that has a lot of weight because I don't have a T800 yet. That's, to me, is just, I love T2. And you also get this incredible Chewie. You get that Samurai Predator, man, which I think.
Dang.
But I do agree with Dlo, what he said on Wolfpack Wednesday, that this not being limited does take a little bit of that aura away from it, but I still think it looks beautiful. The Garfield Spider-Man and the Death Trooper, like those are cool, like add-ins. I mean, again, I love Spider-Man, but I'm just saying, like, I'm really picking this based on the T8, those last three. As much as I love Beetlejuice and that new Harley Quinn, and obviously this Keaton Batman, I feel like there's other options for those that I could get. I'm still talking for some reason. Bottom.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was like,
Explain
I got to a
away.
point. Yeah, I got to a point where I was like, you have nothing left to say. Just say bottom. Just say bottom.
What about you, Dla?
This is a lot harder. This is a lot harder than that for sure. I mean, my instinct tell me bottom at first glance, but then like, you know, you in your infinite wisdom, because Brick does his stuff on his top or bottom segments over here. He knows what he's doing here because he knows, obviously, I'm a Batman fan. There goes Michael Keaton Batman right there. And oh, by the way, let's throw in Michael Keaton Beetlejuice because he knows how much I love the movie. So, and we just finished talking for in nauseum how much I love this version of Harley Quinn. So it started off a little weak because I was like, okay, this Mark whatever University of no one cares is on there. Okay. And that's, okay, well, no big deal. Right. And then Doom. So I love this Doom. I think this is a fantastic Doom, but I don't do comic iterations. I don't do, cartoon. I mean, like it's got to be movie or that's it. Movie or TV. That's how I collect. That's my rule. So, I was like, okay, bottom. But like I said, 2 Keatings and a Harley Quinn, that's carrying the weight on this top panel here. So taking it down to the bottom. Okay. Now, Death Trooper, it's cool, but it's like I can live without it.
Sure.
That Spider-Man, really good. Really, really good. Arnold. Y'all know I'm an Arnold fan, right? And then obviously the best Chewbacca we've ever seen. That's incredibly hard to pass up on. And then, of course, the Samurai is just downright sick as hell. And limited or not, it's still pretty damn impressive. So,
yeah.
But then I still have to get rid of Batman if I go with the bottom. And that's where it's killing me right here. So, I still got to go bottom. I still got to go bottom on this one.
Okay.
Listen,
because you can still get that sideshow Beetlejuice, Dlo.
That
I can sideshow.
Oh, that
I'm not
beautiful
sure.
looking sideshow.
You're speaking for yourself on that one, there, Justin. No, you're gonna die on that hill by yourself, pal. But hey, I got 89. Right, that's on the way eventually at some point. So I mean, Returns is my favorite one, but at least I'll have some representation. But yeah, dude, that lineup at the bottom is just way too strong to really contend with that there. Maybe if you threw in something a little bit better than that Iron Man in the corner there, I could probably
it was that or the gold Batman, because that was one of the last two. So I was like, I gotta put Iron Man.
It's almost like a disqualification. There is no top, there's only bottom. It's called the show Bottom.
Bottom. It's your only choice. So both you guys picked bottom for great reasons. Now my favorite figure on this whole top or bottom is Batman Returns. I think that's my most excited figure there. And of course Artisan Harley, which is something that I've been looking forward to. I love Beetlejuice. But the other two figures, like you said, Dlo, they're fine. Now you go to the bottom. You got my favorite Spider-Man. I don't think this is going to be my favorite Spider-Man figure. It's also not my favorite Spider-Man because Amazing Spider-Man 2 is better. But it's Garfield. And then you got T-800. I don't have a Terminator. And I love Terminator. I love Arnold. So you also have Chewie, and you got this badass Predator, like you guys said. So when I first look at it, I want to say top because of that Batman. But the more I look at it and the more I hear you guys talking, the more I think about it, I'm going to go bottom as well. I'm going to have to go bottom.
Yeah. And that's what it comes down to for me also is like, the more I'm thinking about it, there was a little bit of me that was like, dude, like, I love like the characters at the top. I love those characters, but there's other options for me. The Harley Quinn Artisan really has some weight just because it's an artisan. And then like Dlo said, the returns for me as well. Like I love the return suit. So I don't know, man. It's tough. I will say you get 2 Star Wars at the bottom. There's a little bit for everybody. There's Star Wars, Spider, like iconic characters. Not that the top isn't iconic. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like we get an Iron Man a lot. We get Batman a lot.
So X-Man is freaking out on us. He's
yeah,
saying,
dude. I was reading those comments too, Brick.
4 2.0s and a Death Trooper versus Doom and Artisan Harley. Y'all are tripping damn balls. But we're also getting a 1000th Iron Man, okay? And we're getting a 2.0 Batman returns. So, I mean, it's,
and dude,
it is
you
what
say
it is. But
you say 2.0s, but this Chewbacca here is just head and shoulders above anything that's come out before.
Yep.
Plus, you get the damn Samurai Predator where the base he's holding a xenomorph in his hand, bro.
Yeah.
You get Andrew Garfield skating around listening to Avril Lavigne, bro. Like,
yes.
I mean, this bottom is just so good.
Yep. Avril Lavigne and some Green Day, some Offspring,
the whole soundtrack to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yeah, Sublime.
Some 41.
What I got, some 41. Yeah. But dude, I might get that Predator. Like, I know I was saying on Wolfpack, I was like, if it's not limited, I'm probably not going to be as inclined to get it right away, but I might still be the more I think about it and look at this Predator. Like, it's kind of turns me on a little bit. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Rick.
Oh yeah.
I will.
Not as much as that Harley though. I should say that.
Said it went from 6 to noon in here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I will say I really hope we support I hope this Predator sells really well, which I think it will. Same with the T800, which again I think it will. But I have to support these because I'm always preaching like, dude, I want something that's not Marvel, DC. As much as I love that stuff, Star Wars, I want more IPs. So
100%.
I hope those do well, so we can get more Alien, Predator, 80s action film type characters. So
yeah. I want more from RoboCop. I want more from Terminator. And I've only been in the hobby for at least this collection hobby, Hot Toys wise, for 2 years. So I don't have my Terminator yet. And but when I do, I'll be a happy man. Be a very happy man.
Dude, so. X-Men's now telling us to stay out of the queue on Thursday, so real Harley fans.
But okay.
I won't.
But if you truly
I'll be there.
But if you truly had a choice to have to pick between T800 Battle Damaged and Artisan Harley Quinn, or this Chewie against Beetlejuice, that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. And every as Batman, as Bruce Wayne says in Batman Begins, X-Men, like, I'll be standing where I belong between you and that Harley Q on Thursday. So again, it's gonna make it that much sweeter, X-Men, when I'm picking up this Artisan Harley. I actually do hope you get it, X-Men. I really do.
I'm not gonna go that far. We're getting pretty dark over here. Like, we hope everybody gets their Harley Quinn.
Dude, X-Men got my head. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. I was taking it to a different level, so I apologize, X-Men. But yeah, man,
I will lick your tears with the receipt for my pre-order.
I will lick your tears. Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. We have he's laughing. We're on good terms. That's good.
That LOL seems pretty passive aggressive to me. I'm not sure.
Especially since it came first, right? Yeah. Like, he made sure it was in there.
He really wants us out of that queue. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, that was real.
He's gonna hack us. Like, yeah, man. All right, guys, that was top or bottom. We do have one more figure I want to talk about. Thank you guys for playing that with us. Thank you to the chat for playing that game with us. We still have 33 in the house. Make sure to hit that like button, and we do have that giveaway coming in a minute. But we are going to be talking about not Hot Toys. We're going to be talking about InArt, this Legolas figure. And I am actually a huge Lord of the Rings fan, but did not have the wallet size to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to go all in on this line, Harry Potter and Game of Thrones in the future and whatnot, while trying to collect Hot Toys. You know what I mean? So this hurts more than anything, honestly, is missing out on Lord of the Rings, because for me, Lord of the Rings might just be, I'm more of a fantasy guy than sci-fi, honestly. And Lord of the Rings is up there like top 5 IPs for me. But I don't want to put any words in anybody's mouth or whatever. I hear mixed feelings about InArt and certain things with that. And you know, during that whole Joker's falling off the base and all of that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pre-order this. You know, at the time it was probably like Aragorn or Gandalf or something, but it's like, I'm just going to hold off. And that was before I knew that these NR figures, like, you either buy it or you don't. And now these figures are going for like $800 on eBay. They're hard to get, especially Lord of the Rings, because no one else is really doing them, at least at this level. And this Legolas is looking extremely, extremely good. So, Dlo, I know you have Aragorn coming. I know you're a fan of Lord of the Rings. Are you excited for this this Legolas here? And who's your favorite character in Lord of the Rings? Let us know that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Great figure. Yes, I'm gonna be getting Aragorn at some point over here. Ironically, for a guy who talks so much shit about InArt, I do got quite a few pre-orders from InArt there. It's I don't know. Just let me talk my shit, people. Don't worry. InArt's not bad. All right, but yeah, I mean, as far as to answer your question, Aragorn is actually my favorite. Believe it or not.
Okay.
I always thought he was the coolest one. Just, you know, it was like the Lone Ranger with the background, but apparently he should be the king, but he doesn't want to be. I thought he was cool. I thought he was a really cool character. I kind of dug his story of, like, you know, whatever. But as far as Katy Perry's husband, this looks beautiful. He is handsome. Look at that.
Now, have a baby.
No, honestly, guys, like as far as, like, say what you will about my feelings about like the DC stuff, like their Batman, their Superman from last week talked about. I think they're doing a freaking fantastic job when it comes to the Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't think any of them have been bad. I think they've all been phenomenal. I think that's where I'd like to keep InArt, if I could give them any advice. Like, don't try to do the same stuff that Hot Toy is doing, because you're always inviting comparison to everything that you do, and it's under a bigger microscope than if you were to, say, go up against Azimuth, right? Who does Lord of the Rings as well too. This far exceeds that, and you're the big dog in that conversation. I think they do such a great job with this line, and I'm really excited to see how far they go, because obviously, you know, we don't just have him. There was another Lord of the Rings announcement as well too from InArt as well that popped up as well. So I'm sure you know about that one. But I mean, they're going to go deep into this line, because I think InArt has really found their stride as far as this particular line. I think this is really, if you ask anybody, like, what do you recommend I pick up from InArt? I think most people are going to say you should really invest in this Lord of the Rings line, because they're doing great work with this stuff. And I think Legolas is going to be just another great one as well too. I hear that this is going to be a combination of sculpted and rooted. They're kind of taking a little bit of two. I'm not sure if you guys knew that. They're doing that with this one as well too.
Yeah, I saw they were doing that with Daenerys with Lord of the Rings, or not Lord of the Rings, oh my gosh, Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
But obviously that hasn't been officially announced, but you know, from what we've seen.
But yeah, I mean, as far as this one here, this feels like, man, this is going to go really well with the other two. It's going to look outstanding. I mean, as far as I say accuracy, because this is where it gets tricky, because InArt fans take this really to the next level, right? And some things I can overlook, some things I can't. There a couple things I'd say is, I think his cloaks and his actual outfit should be darker. It should be a darker green than what it is here. I'd have to go back. It's been a while since I watched the movies, but I could have sworn it was a darker set of green, not as light as this one here. So take it for what you will. But I think first impressions, this is probably the strongest one yet. I think this is stronger than, honestly, Gandalf, I think, was number one, followed by Aragorn. I think this goes above Aragorn and maybe as high as Gandalf as far as likeness is concerned here. But yeah, I don't want to take up too much on this one over here, because I'm sure you guys have your own thoughts and feelings about this, but I think this is probably the best one they've done so far. I'm really, really impressed by this one. Am I going to pick it up? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. So when I first saw, I was like, yes, I'm going to pick this up here. But there's other figure news in the world that changed the game for me personally. And that is the potential of a Blitzway release
Oh, yeah.
of Ghostbusters. And that changed everything I have planned.
Yep.
Because that's one of those things for me growing up. Like, I was a Ghostbuster. As my 5-year-old birthday, I was a Ghostbuster. For Halloween, I was a Ghostbuster. I had every toy possible. So to have an opportunity to, after all these years of seeing crazy exorbitant prices for those on the aftermarket, for that to potentially be an option, that might change. That might put a monkey wrench in my plans, because I may have to cut something. I think I might have to maybe stop at Aragorn and let that just be my Lord of the Rings representation. I'm not sure yet. There's not enough information to know what they're going to give us, but damn it, I'll tell you right now, if I had to choose between Lord of the Rings and Ghostbusters, I know this sounds sacrilegious to some people listening, but for my connection, I grew up Ghostbusters, so I would probably pick that. But if they're reasonable and they're not ridiculously priced, which I doubt it, Blitzway is always super expensive, so is InArt. One's gonna have to go, and I would probably go Ghostbusters over Lord of the Rings. So
yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
understandable.
I'm happy for everybody else, though.
Yeah,
happy for everybody else.
Justin, do you have any InArt figures? Do you plan on getting any?
Yeah, dude, I'm fighting for my life out here trying to get a rooted Harry Potter, bro. I am like, I'm messaging people all the time. Like, am I really gonna have to spend $800?
Dude, if I knew you wanted one, I could have. It's too late now. Sorry.
Whoa. Hold on a damn second. What are you talking about?
We'll talk off air. I feel like you're about to get pissed. We'll talk later.
No, it's okay, man. It's okay. It is disheartening because people are like, dude, just be patient. I was like, I got Ron and Hermione pre-ordered. I can't have them two and not Harry. So again, that's where my head's at. That's the line I want personally. I'm with Dlo on this. I think Legolas looks really good. I do think personally, the more I've looked at this, I do think the sculpt is like 90% there. There's something off. And I had the same issue with Aragorn in the photos, but then when I saw it in hand, and I've talked to people that have that figure, they promised me that the sculpt just looks way stronger in hand. There's something off with like the forehead for me, and I don't know what it is, and just I don't know what it is, man, but something a little bit off there. I think everything from the eyes down looks fantastic, like the jawline, the chin, but I do think that this could look a little bit better if I'm really being like picky, you know what I mean? But I do think it looks great. And again, I don't know how to articulate it as good as others with like what I think's wrong with it. It just, there's something about it that's a little bit off. With that said, I can't do this. I can't do Lord of the Rings because I'm like you, Brick. I think the trilogy is fantastic. I even went and saw the Hobbit films, and my favorite character in Lord of the Rings is probably Benedict Cumberbatch, where he's doing where he's doing the mocap. Like, have you seen the behind the scenes where he's acting like the dragon? The behind the scenes character.
I haven't.
Not Smog. The actor doing the mocap.
You know what? I think I have. I saw that on YouTube a long time ago.
Dude, it just gives you a new appreciation of what these.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
it looks wild. But I can't do this because it's just like Dlo said. And I don't think it's blasphemy what you said, Dlo. I'm with you, man. Ghostbusters for me, I have a bigger connection to that franchise, to those characters, just for me growing up. I mean, I watched Ghostbusters a lot, and I watched Lord of the Rings in theaters, but Lord of the Rings is not a film franchise that I revisit a lot. And Ghostbusters is a movie that I find myself watching like once a year. So if I had to choose, in a perfect world, you'd get all this stuff, but we see that you have to make decisions out here. Basically, to wrap it up, Brick, I think this looks great. Legolas is the first character in this line that I was like, dang, dude, this is really kind of making me regret not kind of picking up some of these figures. But yeah. I gotta stay disciplined, man. And Harry Potter is my main priority from InArt. And so that's kind of where my focus is right now.
Sure. No, I hear you. Harry Potter's up there for me too. When that figure was first announced, I really hyped for that. Again, newer to the hobby. Didn't know that if you didn't pre-order that sucker on time that you wouldn't have a chance. Had a chance to get a figure, Harry Potter that is, and basically had him, but had to cancel. For many reasons. We all know why. Like Hot Toys just came and said, "Nope, you're not buying InArt. Here you go." So that's literally what happened to me. And I love Harry Potter. And if Hot Toys says Harry Potter, 100%, 120% will buy those figures. But anyways, that being said, Lord of the Rings, I love Lord of the Rings. I think if InArt were to do something like, Smeagol with Frodo or Frodo and Sam, I think I would do those. I think I would get like a little 2-piece from Lord of the Rings. That would be like my whole piece of Lord of the Rings for me. Some people would do Gandalf, some people would do like, even
I'm with you, though,
Legolas or
dude.
something.
That's why I said, like, for myself, like, I would stop at Aragorn because that's my favorite character. But like,
Yeah.
if you wanted to do Frodo and Sam or something like that, that might be like somebody else's like ideal
Like
representation.
dude, like
for the-
climbing up like a rock or something, make it kind of look like a
Right.
mountain.
And-
Like that would be
and
so
you-
sick.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is endless here because I mean, Lord of the Rings is so similar to how people feel about Star Wars, right? But
Yeah.
the thing about what they have in common is, as much as they have a huge fan base, they also have a very specific fan base where people like certain portions of their films or their movies or their their spin-offs or what have you like that there. I mean, some people would say they enjoy The Hobbit over Lord of the Rings. I'm not one of those people, but some people would say that, right?
Sure,
Maybe you're a Bilbo fan and you prefer the younger version. I mean, to each their own. But I think like when we're talking dollars a cents, where we're trying to find the resources to collect everything we want, and we can't always collect everything we want at once here. I think
Sure.
having something is better than nothing. And I think maybe doing something like that would, scratch that itch that you have for, what you want in Lord of the Rings. And if there's an opportunity down the road and something else comes up, then great. If it doesn't, no big, you have something, right? That's why for me, like, I was immediately disappointed and excited at the same time because Ghostbusters is like, yeah, that's a big deal for me. And like, I just said to myself, well, I don't know how far I can go into this and still get that. So as long as I get my Aragorn, at least I have something that like connects me to the films that I love. And if something down the road changes and becomes available, or maybe they do, remember, this is all just the first movie. They can do the Two Towers. They can do Return of the King. There's always a possibility of that. I prefer, honestly, him in Two Towers. Two Towers is my favorite out of all the movies, by the way. That's like, that's my favorite one. Probably then Return of the Kings. But all the same, like, there's other versions of these characters that you can easily, at some point, if you're patient, can find later. So I just think, something is better than nothing. Like I said a second ago, I think that's the way, the attitude about it. Because realistically, there's an artisan, it's gonna be 400. I think we also wanted that there. Now this and Ghostbusters, there's an Ecto one. Someone's making Star Wars statues now. There's so much stuff that just dropped literally within the last 48 hours. On top of all the other stuff we committed to. We just talked about Bane being figure of the year. I mean, that's how quickly our brains can work in this hobby here, where we're literally just jumping from one figure to the other. And we were just talking about that a few hours ago. I completely forgot about Bane being the figure of the year. Like, that's how it just kind of works in this hobby sometimes, right? So, I mean, if you're in on this here, I think you're going to get a great figure. I really like where it's at so far. I'm not going to go into the details of how much of it is inaccurate. I'll leave you guys to decide how much that bothers you. This right here, if I was to get this and I were to purchase a particular figure, I would be satisfied with how it is now in its current state. So I'll leave
that's a great point. What Dlo's saying too is like, because I get caught up in that too, and it's not it's kind of, it kind of hampers you a little bit as a collector, because you're thinking, well, if I get Legolas, I have to get Gandalf and Aragorn. Well, no, you really don't. I mean, that's a great point that he just made. Like, if they come out with a Gimli, maybe you got Legolas and Gimli. Like Brick said, maybe you get Frodo. I mean, this idea that we have to, and I'm bad about it because I feel like, man, I want the whole line of figures. Well, at this price point, it's not like we're collecting Funko Pops, you know, where it's easy to kind of collect a line. So I think that's a great point. And that's something I'm trying to get a little bit better at as well. Now, I will say for characters like the Ghostbusters, those makes more sense to me to collect those 4 characters.
That's a team.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing with Lord of the Rings is like, how deep are they going with this line? How many, same with Harry Potter. As long as I have the 3 main characters, anything extra is awesome. But yeah, I think all of us are having to make that adjustment of like, you know, the days of, you know, and again, I haven't been in it long enough with this scale, but the days of feeling like you got to get an entire line of figures. It's kind of like Brick. I know you're excited about Spider-Verse line like I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, but as big as a fan as you are, I don't think you're getting every figure from that line. You know, maybe you are. I just thought that maybe you were only getting a few pieces, but yeah, I think that's a great way of thinking it. And like Dlo said, man, it changes so much. Everything we're talking about tonight, by Friday, there could be 3 other announcements, and now we're like, oh shit, man. Now I can't get this or this because this is out now. So it's just crazy right now, man.
Yeah, and then it just ruins your plans. And then you got to consider canceling something. You got to like,
just to add something on that real quick too. I mean, in fairness as well too, like the difference between the Ghostbusters, their team, they've stuck with each other throughout all the films. This is a fellowship that lasted like a movie, maybe like 3/4 of a movie, and then everybody were doing their own thing anyway. So everybody had their own different stories. So like I said, if you wanted to go like Gimli, him, Aragorn, Gandalf, that makes sense for you. If you want to do Sam, Frodo, and what's his name? Why can't I think of his name right now? Oh my gosh. What's the guy, the mocap character? Oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank right now?
Smog?
Smog. No, not Smog.
Oh, no. Smeagol.
Precious.
Smeagol.
Precious.
Smeagol.
There you go.
Or Golem, I guess you could say.
Gollum. Thank you, Gollum. Gollum.
There you go.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get crap for that. But yeah, I mean, like everybody's gonna have their different interpretation. I mean, to go the whole line through, bravo to you. But I mean, I think most people will probably just kind of pick and choose their parts of the fellowship they like the most.
Yeah, that's a great point. And my joke fell flat earlier, guys. Smog's not my favorite. I was trying to joke around that Benedict Cumberbatch's mocap performance was my favorite, but Brick, I'd have a tough time finding that favorite character, man. I got to rewatch this trilogy. It has been so long since I've actually sat down and watched these movies, like actually sat down and really put my attention in. Because it's just that it's an investment. I mean, this is a franchise that is an absolute investment. It's not like a Star Wars movie where you can kind of throw it on and you know you got to follow it, but this is like a 3.5 hour for each movie investment. But yeah, dude, there's some people out there that just collect Lord of the Rings stuff that are hyped, want to go super deep. But like Dlo said, I think that's the attitude I'm going to start taking is like, you know, just get you one figure, get your favorite character, and that's the representation for that franchise. Unless it's like your top 1 or 2 things, you know, be okay with that. Don't feel like you got to get the entire line of figures. And that's something that I'm going to try to work on a little bit.
Yeah. You guys, quick question for you guys. Do you guys think if they do let's say a Frodo, do you think they should have Gollum with that figure? Like, you know, sold together?
That's a good question, Brick.
I don't think they do it that way. I mean, think of the kids. Think of Harry Potter.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's the point I was going to make, Dlo.
I would love to see. Does Golem come with enough to be his own? You know what I mean? Like,
it would have to be an incredible diorama base. Now, the Harry Potter diorama bases are like incredible, in my opinion. I would like to see that for like the smaller figures. If they do a Gollum, they need to give us like this cave, this entire like diorama. Like it's more than just a figure. It's this whole diorama piece. I feel like would be the way to sell that. But that's a good point, man. I do think that they would be able to sell Frodo by himself. The other ones would be the interesting one. The other hobbits. That like Frodo, I think would sell no question. But yeah, that's interesting, man.
Yeah, I think they should at least do Frodo, Sam, like together. At least
I agree.
You know, I if they're doing like 2 and 4 packs of the Joker, they can do a 2-pack of Frodo and Sam and sell it for like, you know, $500 or whatever. They're small. They're half the size of these figures, you know.
But dude, they got to get those artisan feet.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Those feet are going to be. It takes up a lot of plastic. So, all right. So, real quick, yeah, Gollum and Smeagol, Frodo and Sam? Question mark.
Frodo and Sam would be sick, man. I mean, talk about a great 2-pack if they were to give that. That would be sweet.
Yeah. Christian Cooper's wanting InArt, Aragorn. Yeah, cool figures, man. Cool line. I am scared of the Game of Thrones line because that's one that I don't think I'm going to be able to say no to.
For that one because that one I will go hard for.
Yeah,
I'm so happy. I'm so happy the last season of Game of Thrones ruined it for me that I don't have that urge anymore. One character
for me,
last season was such a shit show, bro.
Okay.
Right. Dude, if y'all try to defend the last season of Game of Thrones, bro, I'm sorry.
No, you won't hear anything from me here.
I'm not defending the last season. I think we were all disappointed because it was like it felt like one episode for a whole season. It went by way too fast. They shouldn't have rushed it. I get that. But at the same time, I think we were spoiled for so long. And we compare it to the other 7 seasons. And for me, that 8th season's better than 90% of the shit that we see on TV.
No, it's not.
So,
it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
They
betrayed the fans, bro. They wanted to get to the creators wanted to get to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care about it.
I get that.
And now they don't even get to direct Star Wars because it was such a pile of shit.
I get that, but it still had some good moments in that show that I cared to finish.
The good moments was as it ended and it was over.
Well, I think like once it got past Winterfell in the fight against the king from the other whatever, but I mean after that, like it was kind of like, what are we still doing here? Like I feel like that should have been the end. I think everybody should have just fought. I think that should have been one final battle for whatever. And just been that, but just like, no, let's fight Cersei, who clearly is nowhere close to the fight you just had. But
okay,
it was just whatever.
It was extremely rushed, like movie canon saying here. It wasn't that bad.
It was that bad.
It wasn't good. Like for me, I would say seasons 1 through 5, 10 out of 10. 6 and 7, 8 out of 10. Season 8 to me was like a 7. I mean, it wasn't like season 8 is a 1 out of 10. Fuck this show. I'm good. Like it didn't do that for me, but I understand why it would do that to other people. I'm not.
The reason I'm so mad about it, Brick, is because I was so into that show.
Yeah.
And it could have literally been one of the greatest, if not the greatest show of all time. And it just betrayed so much of what came before. But I will say
it still is though.
Dude, that is the only show.
Like an asterisk.
That is the only show in this day and age that got people together to have watch parties.
Yep, guilty.
Sit down. I mean, what show does that now? And just nobody's safe. Even though the last season was not good, I still see that show overall like an A. Like that.
My
that
friends
show
had
was
a baby announcement through that show.
Oh wow!
Like they got like there's some people who went hardcore. Like they had like this.
Yeah.
Forget how I went there, but it was basically it had to do with like just play on words here. Basically, when we were at the watch party, I forget what season it was, the premiere, and they announced to all of us that they were pregnant. So they dropped a banner in front of the TV before the show started, and it showed a photo of the baby first, like the sonogram, and then right at the bottom it said our watch has just started. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
It did bring people together.
That's
sure.
Awesome.
I can attest
to
that.
And I loved it. I loved it for so long. That's why it hurt so bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite episode?
We would buy like, oh, dude, what was that? I think it's Hard Home. Season 5
up there for me too. That's up there.
Season 5, episode 8 or something like that. That was
for
awesome.
Me. Battle of the Bastards.
That was great.
Those are the two that are up there for me, man. Jon Snow. That's why Jon Snow was my favorite character, like a lot of us. And I just feel like the way I really truly feel like they betrayed that character to no end. And
I agree because Hard Home, like when you see this whole thing and they're staring each other down, like, dude, I can't wait for these two to fight. That's what pissed me off the most. Was that fight never happened.
And I'm with you, Brick. And I'm with both of you guys. Like, look. But for me, it's like it's hard to go back and watch those epic scenes knowing what the outcome is. So it's hard for me to even rewatch it. I will say I loved it enough that I will for sure be getting a Jon Snow if they ever released a Jon Snow, and probably a Daenerys, just because I'll just forget. I'll try to retcon in my mind that didn't happen and that they're just hanging out and whatever. But yeah, we could go on
here,
about it, man.
Here's my theory real quick, and then we got one more segment, and then we'll get out. But my theory is that George R.R. Martin has not finished the book because he realized that the show ended off and nobody liked it, and that was his true ending, acting like it's not his true ending, but that was his true ending.
2020, I bet. And
he's like, oh shit. Okay, well, I'm going to release and write these big ass books, 2 other books. We're going to focus on House of the Dragon. And I don't even know if I can fix this ending because I have all these notes. And so that's why he never answers the damn questions. Like, there's no way that he had a better ending that he did not share with these screenwriters.
Right.
There's no way. You're not going to F that up. And now, by the time he comes out with a book, you're waiting too long. Half the people that watched the show that wanted the book aren't going to want the book anymore. 1, because it was a terrible ending. 2, because it took too long. Nobody cares anymore. And I think he's at that point where he's like, whatever. We'll watch. He's going to release it tomorrow. Let's see. I had a comment here. I think it was from Clinton Martin that was saying The Walking Dead had watch parties. That's very true. But it's very rare. Like, I mean, between The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, probably the 2 biggest shows in the last
and The Walking Dead
years.
I just kind of got it just kind of fizzled out for me. I mean, again, Rick Grimes, was like my favorite character. So once he kind of left, I was kind of done with Walking Dead, and it kind of just ran its course. But I just felt like Game of Thrones it was avoidable what happened.
Yeah.
I think that's what pisses me off is like,
sure.
And I'll remember the good times, man. I really will, Brick. I'll try. And I'm sorry I got so heated, guys, but I'm telling you, man, I'm with you guys. We were all in front of the TV, just couldn't believe what was happening to us, man. Yeah. We're like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, man? You gave us all this hope, man, and you took it from us in this season.
Again, I agree. I was disappointed. I was upset, but it's not going to keep me from watching it again one day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Arya and the Hound, like that stuff. Jamie, my favorite in the end.
Like, when House of Dragons came out, like I watched Game of Thrones again. I think I've rewatched. I think this is probably one of the only shows I probably rewatched maybe 4 or 5 times now. Like but I mean, it's like kind of like you said there, Justin. Like once you get to season 8, you're just like, you're not going to be as happy about finishing it as you were starting it. But I mean, I get it.
I'll always remember the good times, Dlo. The highs that show. You
gotta remember the good times.
I'll never forget. But then as soon as I get hyped, I'll look at that shelf and I'll remember that last season, and it'll hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, it's still too soon, man. It's still too soon. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to truly get over what happened.
But, right. You know what was going to help me was when they announced Kit Harington wrote wrote a script for a new show, and then they canceled that. Like, I was so pumped. I was like, they're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix it. And then they're not.
Sure about that.
It does make me feel better that almost everybody involved with that last season universally hates it as well. Like all the actors, you could just tell, like they had. You could tell
when they were reading it, they're like, "What?"
You can tell, like during the premiere when they couldn't even hold it back in their head.
Exactly, man.
Like, ooh, how would we describe season 8? Yeah, dude. Just watch it.
Yeah.
Oh man, a lot of death, and I mean the show, not the people. So real quick, I want to do something here if I can figure this out. Let's see. Oh, here we go. And play from the beginning. So you guys saw that. So what I want to do here is I want to talk about some movies that have been released already this year or that are getting ready to come out. And I don't want to talk about each movie for too long, but I do want your guys' take or your thoughts, your prediction on whether or not you think Hot Toys will ever go back to this line. Like, for example, here we see Dune. If they'll ever do Dune figures. Ever do Dune. That's really hard to say fast. Dune figures, and so forth. Like, what are the odds? Okay. And I'll say 1 being absolutely not, all the way to 5. So 1 to 5, 5 being like, yes, 100%. And 3 kind of being like, 50-50. And we're going to start with Dune here. I'm not going to talk about like when Dune was released and all that stuff, but we've seen an InArt figure of Dune. I have that one pre-ordered. That will be my first InArt figure. And do you guys think that Dune, I'll start with you, Justin, 1 to 5, what are the odds that Hot Toys does Dune figures?
I'd say a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll be quick about it. Like, the only reason I say a 2 is because I'm still interested to see what they do with part 3. I know it's going to be a whole different. Everything the director's saying is that it's going to be this entirely different thing than part 2. And I think that the aesthetic for the film, which is beautiful, I don't know how it's going to work with like a line of figures. Like, I don't know how deep they would go. I think Paul would be the figure they made.
Sure.
So that could be a little higher than a 2, but that would be the one figure that I would say has the most likelihood of doing it. But I would say a 2.
All right. What about you, Dlo?
Yeah, I would say I'm a little bit higher. I'd say 3.
Okay.
But I also will piggyback off with Justin. I don't think it would be a full blown line. I think it would just be a Paul Atreides, honestly. And I mean, I know, like, see, this is the part where I can't stand. Like, we always have to talk the two companies together. I wish we can just talk about Hot Toys and InArt separately. But when they go through the same, we're talking about the same licenses, we gotta have fortunate to mention the other there. But I mean, obviously they've done their version, and it's Dune 1. This is Dune 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's remind ourselves here, we had InArt do Joker 1, and Hot Toys is doing Joker 2. So it's not without the realm of possibility that they can do exactly the same thing here and just give us a different version. If I remember, if I recall correctly, the one you pre-ordered from InArt, that's more the cleaner part 1 version, right?
Yes.
Like the suit's still black. This one is a lot more worn. He's been in battle multiple times. I can see them doing this version easily. And, maybe even going as far as doing the whole wool hair thing as well, too. So, I mean,
that'd be nice.
It's a possibility.
And hopefully with blue eyes. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be a great point, Justin. That would be another thing, too, like adding something like that. Maybe finally using that UV effect for once in the right kind of way for a decent,
good point, man.
actually make it make sense. But, yeah, I mean, something like this is always on the table, but it's just like sometimes when Hot Toys is too late to the game, they might tease it, but never actually pull the trigger and actually do it. So that's why I say
wait for the next movie with more hype again. And they probably didn't expect this movie to be so big because number one was the first one was, kind of to max. And so maybe they kind of passed over this and were like, oh shit, this movie was great.
Yeah.
And
the first one was a modest success. This one was a global juggernaut this year.
Yeah.
So easy to see that and say like, yeah, we're not going to touch it, but you never know.
Yeah. And I think this could go the route of a Lord of the Rings, Brick, where like, I don't know if we're far enough removed yet. Once this story is told, basically, I think that years later, we're going to get a lot more stuff from Dune, kind of like we see with Lord of the Rings. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're starting to get a lot more Lord of the Rings merchandise and memorabilia at this scale. Yep. So yeah, man, I'll put it this way. I would love to see what they would do with it. So I'm hoping it's more than a 2, but yeah, Dlo brought some great points there too, that they could focus on the part 2 IP.
Yeah, I will say a 3 as well, but I think it's not going to happen this year. Maybe toward the end of next year, the year after, 2026. Next up, we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It doesn't have to be necessarily this movie, but do you guys ever think like, we've had Planet of the Apes in the past with Hot Toys. Do you think they ever bring back like maybe a Caesar or something? What are the odds of them getting Planet of the Apes back again? I'll start with you this time, Dlo.
I really would want a Planet of the Apes figure really bad, but I don't know if to do it right, a company is willing to do that, even somebody like Hot Toys, just because you're basically looking at a Chewbacca, if you will.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look how long it took for us to get that. And I think if it wasn't Chewbacca, it wouldn't be made at all, quite frankly. So for me, I'm going to go as low as I can, and I'm going to say a 1.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Justin?
I 100% agree. 1. I just don't think that as great as these movies are, I don't think that they translate necessarily to collectibles as much as other IPs. And I feel like they would have probably, because again, Kingdom, you know, they could have capitalized on the ones that came before it, and we still didn't get anything from that. So yeah, I'm with Dlo. I'd say a 1.
I would say a 1 for this movie, but if we're doing like a whole, like anything Planet of the Apes, I'd probably push it to a 2 at some point in the next couple years. You never know. But
and you're a big fan of this franchise, right, Brick? Like you would
I'm a
definitely
huge
be
fan.
a buyer on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is what many would say Star Wars is to them is Planet of the Apes for me.
Oh,
Wow.
nice, dude.
Like
Nice.
it's super high. Like Star Wars for me, it's probably like Marvel, DC, Planet of the Apes, Star Wars.
That's awesome.
So
Man. Yeah.
yeah, and then maybe Lord of the Rings after that.
Nice.
Talking movies, not shows. Because
I will say now that 20th Century Fox is under the Disney umbrella, there is probably a better
that's right.
chance
That's right.
than before. But again, I'm still waiting on a Xenomorph, man, from Romulus. So we'll see what happens.
Dude, that's coming. That has to come. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, look at that segue, baby.
And Justin, I think Dlo, you went last time first, right?
Yes.
Justin, what do you think?
Yeah. I do think this is a 5 out of 5. I think that this is just a matter of when. I definitely think we're getting a Xenomorph. I don't think we're going to get the main character from Romulus, even though I would get that. I think it's definitely going to be stuck to either Xenomorph or it's going to be Ripley. Like those are the things you're going to get from Alien.
Yeah.
I definitely see both of those coming. It's just a matter of when.
All right. So what about you, Dlo?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat here. I don't know specifically from Romulus per se, but I feel like there's going to be a resurgence of like Alien, Predator, even what we're seeing already now. So I feel like there's a second coming to that there. I'd say a Ripley from Aliens would be fantastic news. Like fantastic news.
Yeah, man.
And we're getting Predator figures again.
Yeah,
so
give me Perm Ripley with her overalls and her Reeboks.
Artisan.
Let's get this party
Ripley.
started. Yes.
That
cool.
character deserves that treatment, Dlo. Like 100%, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. She's the original badass, right? She's the first. Yeah. I mean, fairness, I think you can maybe say Leia, but I mean, as far as like female lead action stars, like Ripley was the first one, hands down. So, and then part 2, like just like takes her to the next level of legend, you know? So yeah. I mean, I think I'd say you're onto it there. I don't know specific Romulus. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't necessarily say specifically if there's something there, but my bet is they already have the molds for a lot of the stuff here. You'll probably see it, but it'll be probably from other movies. Although I will say I have a soft spot for Resurrection. I like Alien.
Dude, me too.
Oh, really?
Me too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Resurrection as well, man. I really do. I'd love to get a Ripley with the basketball. I really wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I would say 5 out of 5. You know, very high odds that we get new Alien figures. From Romulus, though, I would say a 3. I would say it's like a 50-50. How long did it take for them to announce that Prey figure, the Feral Predator? Was it like around the time the show or the movie came out, or
no? I think it seemed like
wait
it was
a
like
little bit.
It seemed like it was like a year later. I feel like.
Oh wow.
I mean, yeah, somebody else would be, because I wasn't collecting at the time. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask. So I don't know why I just answered that. I have no clue what I'm talking about. I really don't. I just guessed.
I could see. I mean, I'm like 50-50 on this movie, but for sure, I think like from the original Alien movie, Aliens, like I could see that.
So, Brick, would you rather have a 2.0 of like Big Chap or like something like that, or Ripley?
100%.
Yeah. So you don't even care if it's Romulus. You'd rather have something. From the
and I really liked Romulus. It's the third best.
I can't wait. Don't spoil it for me.
We won't.
But it's really good.
I'm specifically not saying nothing because I know you haven't seen it, but I think you'll love it, Dlo. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Alien, so yeah, I've seen every single one. So I cannot wait to watch that one. I had plans to watch it with the wife, and then kid got sick. So
it should be out soon on demand, I would think, because it's been
dude, after the show is done, I'm immediately buying Deadpool. That comes out at midnight.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yes.
That's right. I gotta watch that again. Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. Now, I'm actually really excited for this. But that being said, maybe not from this movie, but a Christopher Reeve Superman. What are the odds that we get that 2.0? Dlo.
5
5.
5.25, 5 5/5. I mean,
It's
whatever
happening.
it's happening, people.
Yep.
It has to.
Yep.
It absolutely has to. This is like, guys, this is like, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys. You guys have all seen Superman, right? I mean, Christopher Reeve, right? Not Reeves, Reeve. Don't get it.
Yep.
People, I flub a lot of words, but I will never mess up Christopher Reeve. I'll tell you that. Dude, this man's a legend. Literally, the amount of people's lives he's touched, not just as Superman, but as himself. Like, he is an absolute treasure. Absolutely. I can tell you stories of people I know who've met him, and just like the most warming person you would ever meet. Such a loving dude. Obviously, we lost him too soon, right? But as far as like the first superhero, for most people around the time the first movie came out, will tell you this is the only Superman as far as they're concerned. So he's had that much of an impact there. So I have the original. I think it still looks great, but I'd be lying if I told you with all the modern technology that we have today, I'd be lying if I tell you I personally want a 2.0 myself. It just it deserves to be more
I can't wait until there's a 2.0.
Yeah, like Christopher Reeve Superman deserves to be in more collectors' hands. Even people who didn't grow up watching them, like if you watch those movies today, right? They may come off maybe a little cheesy by today's standards, but let me tell you, in a world that we live in where there's so much negativity, there's so much unrest with everything, that is the purest movie you'll ever watch and believe like there are good people out there. Like, it's phenomenal. I honestly, like, I get goosebumps just talking about this here because I just know like how important of a piece that will be when it's announced, and how many people who don't even collect are going to jump at the idea of getting this figure. Honestly, it's going to be that big.
Yeah. Just hope they don't limit it to 3,000 pieces.
Scumbags. Don't you dare.
What about you, Justin? This is going to happen?
Yeah, I'll Dlo said it best, so I'll just piggyback off of that. I think it's going to be a 5 as well.
Yeah, same here. 5 out of 5. This next one, obviously, we got a Joker figure, but the question is, do we get a Harley? Odds of that, 1 to 5. I'm going to start this one. I'm going to say a 1. But Justin, what do you think?
I was actually going to say a 3 on this one because I just don't know enough about, like, I mean, it's one thing to sell a Joker, a Joaquin Phoenix Joker. He won the Oscar. I guess it'll depend on how successful this movie is. We're kind of going to see how good I could see the opening weekend being really strong, but if it doesn't get received like the first one does, I could see a big drop off in the coming weeks. So I think it's dependent on that. So I'm going to say a 3 just because I don't know. This is kind of like uncharted territory a little bit. Like, it's an iconic character. It's Lady Gaga, but I don't know what the deal is with the licensing with all that. So I'll say a 3.
Yeah. What about you, Dlo?
I'm way more optimistic on this. I'm going to say it's a 4. I think it's happening. I think that Hot Toys is smart. They'll capitalize on this here because, like, they're a risk assessment kind of toy kind of company. They're more reactionary than anything else. So when you have somebody as a high profile as Lady Gaga, like I said earlier in the show, like if it was Taylor Swift and she showed up in Deadpool as Bedazzled, like Hot Toys would make that 100%. Not because they think the character's fantastic, because it's Taylor freaking Swift.
Yeah.
And when is Hot Toys gonna have another opportunity to make a Taylor Swift figure? Probably never. Yep. Right? Unless they make cats. Good God, can you imagine?
Oh my gosh.
No, but I mean, an opportunity to make Lady Gaga, they're not looking at it as Harley Quinn. They're looking at it as, we get to make a Lady Gaga. We can sell this because she's a multi-platinum superstar. She's become a fantastic actress in her own right. She's won tons of awards at this stage here. Like, when are they going to get a chance to make another one? Because they're not going to make a Joker 3. The director already said that's not happening. So it's either now or never. So I'm more optimistic saying it's going to happen. It's a 4.
I didn't know he wasn't going to do a 3. I will move mine up to 2. You changed my mind. You guys both changed my mind a little bit. The only reason I thought of 1 is because they did go back to that first Joker movie, and I feel like if they do a Harley, they have to do another Joker. But I mean, I'll give it a 2. Next up, we have Terrifier 3. This is actually getting really good ratings. Guys, I don't know if you guys are big fans of Terrifier, but I am. I have a lot of fun with those movies. They're very graphic, but they're very, I don't know, they're different. They're different when it comes to horror. I would give this figure a 1 because it's Hot Toys, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sideshow, I would say 5 out of 5, all the way up for Sideshow to do this figure. I know, like, because it's a Christmas version, you know, like a Santa version of this figure, so I could see Sideshow doing another one. Yeah. What do you guys think, Dlo?
It's pretty disgusting movies. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, I love Halloween, and you know, it's hard to find a good scary movie. So like, I like these movies just like you as well too. I mean, isn't there a company that already makes it? I think was it Trick or Treat Studios?
Trick or Treat Studios. Yep.
Right,
yep,
they make
yep,
one already now.
Yeah.
So would a mainstream company like Hot Toys do it? Probably not. I don't even know if maybe Sideshow would do it either.
Sure.
But I could see the same company doing a part 3 version, Santa Claus out, you know, never know. But I don't know. I don't think it's mainstream enough horror to warrant somebody like Sideshow.
Yeah, like if Hot Toys isn't even doing Jason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if they're
right, exactly. Freddy Krueger, like they're not doing those guys, like like Scream. None of those are being done by them, right? So it's just like Pennywise didn't do great. The first thing that comes to mind is I'm thinking of Pennywise.
I guess Pennywise is like the only.
Well, I'm saying, that's what they've done. That's horror that I can think of here, and that didn't do very particularly well. I just don't see them touching this one. I think Trick or Treat's probably got this one on lock.
Yep.
Yeah, this is 1 out of 5, and even with Sideshow, I don't see him touching this. It's even though it's very popular, like within the horror community, and like, you know, Art the Clown has taken on this like icon status in a way.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other easy sells for characters like a Michael Myers or whoever, and so Sideshow is just kind of reissuing those right now, not even making new ones. So again, if anybody's going to do it other than Trick or Treat, it would be Sideshow Brick, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I see this like a Spirit Halloween, Trick or Treat Studios, like gold mine. Like I just feel like true like hardcore horror fans.
Dude, he is really all over Spirit Halloween right now.
He is. It sells like crazy, dude.
Yeah.
There was like these tumblers. I was talking to somebody at Spirit, and they're like, I bought a lot of stuff, and it was like, you know, some Beetlejuice stuff, some Michael Myers, and she's like, yeah, you just missed out on our Art the Clown masks. Those sold like really quickly.
Man.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where like it's kind of like the cool like thing right now to be a fan of Terrifier. Yeah. So if they're gonna do it, I would think it need to be soon, man, because it's kind of like in the zeitgeist right now.
Right. Yeah, it's getting big pretty quick. But I would say a 1, at least with Hot Toys. But Trick or Treat Studio, Sideshow, 4 to a 5. All right, we got 2 more left. Got Gladiator here. We have this movie coming out in November, and I'll start with you, Dlo. Think they'll do some figures for Gladiator, whether it's the first or the second?
Yeah, big old
donut
egg.
baby.
Yeah,
not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And that's the crappy thing too, because like there's some like badass movies that third-party companies and you know, not so great companies have done, like Troy, Brad Pitt and Troy. I want that.
Yeah.
Maximus, of course. Who doesn't want Braveheart? Who doesn't want that?
I love
those heavy hitter movies. No real toy company, at least in my opinion, has done it justice. So I don't see Hot Toys jumping in on the probably going to be less superior movie, let alone the first one. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. But if they did, I'd be all over those for sure.
Yeah. It's Russell Crowe or nothing from this, and I don't see even that happening, to be totally honest with you. I do know they're doing that statue. I forget who's making the statue, but I do know there's a Maximus statue coming out.
Blitzway.
Is it Blitzway? Okay,
I think it's Blitzway. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that is about the best we're gonna get. I definitely don't. Yeah, I'd go 0 as well, man. I do not see this happening whatsoever.
Yeah, I would do the same. I'd give it a 1. 0. I guess I would go below the scale. Ain't gonna happen. I got one more. And you know what? This one, I think this one might surprise. I mean, we've gotten some weird stuff. I would say 2 out of 5. Wicked is big, kind of worldwide. I don't know if the movie is going to be, as big as the show, but I could see it doing well. I could see them maybe thinking about it, but I'm not going to say it's impossible and it's not going to happen. I'd give it a 2. What say you, Justin?
I'll say a 2. I think the only reason it's a 2 and not a 0 or a 1 for me is because of the lack of IP in theaters this year. And so
Yeah.
this is Thanksgiving weekend. This is a big, it is a big property. It's a big Broadway show. It's, there's definitely a fan base there.
Yeah.
But I do know it's been a long, like we hardly ever get any of the live action Disney stuff. And so that's what makes me think it's going to be a 1. Like if we didn't, like I know we got the Emma Watson Belle figure, but aside from that, man, we haven't really gotten anything from live action Disney, which I personally wish they would kind of go down that line. So I just, again, the only chance it has is because there's not a whole lot of new IPs that they can kind of attach themselves to this year. But I'll go with a 2, but the more I'm thinking about it, it might be a 1.
Yeah, right. The more you were talking, I was thinking the same. What about you, Dlo?
I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm gonna say 3, not because anybody wants it, but they might be contractually obligated to make it. If I'm being honest there.
I mean, you have Ariana Grande.
It's a Disney product there, so that might be part of the deal. I mean, you're right. They've done Belle. The only other one I can think of is the Angelina Jolie one. Was it Maleficent or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Yep. I think is this Disney or is this Universal? I don't know.
I think this
I
is.
could have sworn it was Disney. Is it not Disney?
Yeah, I think it actually might be Universal now that you mentioned it. But I guess my point was with like, I kind of meant like since Hot Toys hasn't made the Disney live action characters, that I find it hard to believe. Yeah. But yeah,
I
think
it
you're
is
right.
Universal. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe I can go down with it a little bit and say maybe it's 2 with you guys here because I thought if it was Disney, it would probably be a higher chance of it there, just kind of a tie-in to the licensing agreements. But if it's Universal, man, probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
I see a doll company, like I don't know, I see this being made, these 2 characters being made is like
just from somebody else, another company.
Yeah, it's more like it's not Hot Toys, but it's a different branch of like a collectible, like more like a doll or like more like those real expensive
like
dolls
Mattel?
that I know that like something like that I could see because I know they have like a ton of. I know you're into Lego too, Brick. Like they have a ton of Lego sets coming out of this movie. There's going to be a lot of toys,
and that's what made me think of adding this because you just never know when those IPs get when they give up their license to all these people who catches on. So
I think it could look cool, man. Like the character design and stuff, the costume design, like it would lend itself to a cool figure.
And like Dlo was saying earlier, Taylor Swift, you got Ariana Grande in here. So
yeah, man. Yeah,
never know. But that was fun. That was a fun little thing. I was thinking about these movies that we haven't really seen a lot of love from Hot Toys or 1/6 companies. So just wanted to get your all's thoughts on that. And real quick, we got a lot of conversation into the chats, people giving up their numbers for each thing. So I appreciate you guys having fun with us. And sorry I couldn't read those off or put those up as we went because when I'm in the slideshow, I can't see anything going on because it's like taking up my full screen. So I apologize for that. But thank you guys for participating in that. We do have one more segment. It's going to be a quick one. It's basically saying, you guys, if you guys have been watching, it's what means the most. So I'm going to start with you, Justin, and go ahead and bring yours up here real quick. Let me just pull it up. And of course, once you're done talking about, what means the most figure to you, then go ahead and let me know what's going on in your channel, your neck of the woods, and we'll go from there. So how you figure what means most figure is, of course, Iron Man Mark III 2.0. Please explain, my good sir.
Yeah, I mean, even though the Chrome Mando was my first Hot Toys, this one, this one to me was like when I had an opportunity to get it, I jumped on it. And when I unboxed this for the first time, and it was my first Iron Man, the MCU was like a huge thing for me for that whole decade of storytelling. Just having the first iteration, I know it was a 2.0, but having that die cast, like actually getting that in hand for the first time, it was just special, man. It was a different unboxing experience than anything I've had with Hot Toys, even to this day. Like I've collected a lot more since then, but there was just something about that Iron Man, and I know that it'll be the best experience for because it's like the first Iron Man. So now that I've seen it, all the other ones will be great, but it won't be able to top this one. Plus, it's the first, it's from the first movie, which kind of started it all. So,
Sure.
it's just a great figure too, man. I mean, it's a beautiful piece, and it's just, yeah, and that's why I picked it. Basically, it's just because that unboxing experience, man, was just so cool. It's like I was like, okay, I get it now. Like this makes sense. I get why
Feeling
people
that
want
weight. Yep.
Exactly, man. That cold steel.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was a cool one, man. And even people that don't collect or something who have seen that one, it's just such an iconic, suit and stuff. They're like, oh man, that's cool, and they feel the weight of it. They're like, dang, this really feels like a premium figure, So yeah, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
and it just to go what's on my channel, like I do a live stream on Friday nights now called Casual Friday. So definitely be checking that out on Friday nights. It's really cool. We had a really fun show this last week. Thank you to anybody that's in here that was on that stream.
I missed that episode.
Missed that. Yeah, episode. Man, catch the replay, baby.
Yeah, I will, man. I will 100% because that's a really, sorry to cut you off, but that's a really fun show, man. You guys gotta go check that out. It's very loose and fun, and it's definitely more about figures. It's more about like, nerd culture, and I relate to that. So it's a lot of fun, and the chat gets involved a lot too in that.
Yeah, the chat does a great job, and like I said, I'm trying out a lot of different types of content on my channel, so it's really just about me kind of, still early in the YouTube space, so I'm really just trying to discover different things I like talking about, things I feel like I can contribute something to. And so, yeah, man. So just be on the lookout for some content. My latest video is up on my channel if you want to go watch that one. It's about the Wasp figure. So, nice. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on, Brick. Like I said,
yeah,
man,
absolutely, man. Dude. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you. Yeah. All right. So next up we have wrong button there. We have Dlo's What Means the Most, and that is. Go ahead.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny you brought it up earlier on as far as like 2.0 here, because this one here means a lot just because first superhero movie I ever saw as a kid growing up. It's my dad's favorite. So I have a lot of connection to it there because that's a special bond that I share with my dad. As far as like, character wise, specifically this version of Chris Reeve, I've kind of already shared a little bit of that. It's just how much he means to so many people. And what a big inspiration hero Christopher Reeve, the man, is himself as well too. So it really just uplifts this figure and really makes it that much more special. And that's why I really am passionate. I want other people to. I want a 2.0, not because I want a 2.0. I do, of course, because it's an older figure. But I think a lot of people should have a Christopher Reeve in their collection just because just what a great human being he is, and obviously the character being so iconic as it is. But I mean, as far as this figure, it's phenomenal. I mean, it holds up all these years. It's very old, but with the Fortress of Solitude background, with the accessories it comes with, the head sculpt, I mean, it's a beautiful figure. It really is. To this day, it's one of my oldest figures, but at the same time, yeah, to this day. But yeah, it's one of those great ones over there. So yeah, it's a great thing that I share personally with my father. That's his favorite superhero. I remember watching as a kid and just being in awe. Like, and I thought for a man could fly for real, so it's one of those special things that you grow up as a kid watching this kind of stuff, and you just like, your imagination takes over and just like, wow, this is, the man has strength. He can do all, he's perfect. But yeah, very special in my collection. One of my all-time favorites, personally and as a figure. So yeah, that's the reason for mine. So
that's what I love to hear, man. That's what collecting's all about. That whole story Dlo just said behind the figure. I mean, again, man, it's cliche, but it's true. It's like, that's why we collect this stuff, man. It's like we look back on there and it's more than just a character. It's a connection with his dad. Like, I love hearing that stuff, man. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah, stuff like that. That's important because obviously, you know, we love RPs, we love all the stuff here, but it's just one of those things, man, which is like when you have a connecting tissue to something and you also share with somebody else you care about as well too, it takes on a deeper meaning, right? Because you know, for me, my father has passed away years ago, and you know, this is how we remember him, stuff like that. So
yeah, man,
it's a nice piece. It's a phenomenal piece. Great character, great hero. Christopher Reeves, just all-time best. So yeah, it's a nice one. So definitely, if 2 Point comes out, I definitely recommend it. I'll definitely pick up one myself there. But as far as my channel is concerned, guys, I am having the time of my life being a collector right now. It's I am literally, I'm done with construction. As you can see behind me here, construction's done on my new Modja space, Modja case setup over here. But now I'm reposing over 200 figures.
Oh gosh.
And I'm enjoying.
Awesome.
No, but it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm loving every second of it here because there's so many figures in that case that have been neglected because I'm so busy talking about these new figures and finding out how I'm going to pay for these figures that are released and all stuff. It has been so nice just to just go back into what I already have, take a second look at these figures and say, wow, you know what? I forgot how good you are. This is fun. So yeah, I'm having a great time. But on the point of business over here, that is going to lead to more content. I don't want to say specifically what it is because I've just gotten word that unfortunately some of my ideas that I share when we ask this question get taken by other people because I'm too busy. And some of these ideas have been already made into other videos. I won't name who, but I'm going to keep that to myself. I promise you I'm working on stuff. And then when it's ready, it's ready. But one thing I can share with you guys, obviously, once I'm done with posing all 200 plus figures, this will lead to a collection tour. And I will go out.
Nice.
And I've been telling the boys privately how proud I am because everything, like every figure has been touched. But I'm confident in saying when I'm done with every one of those figures, this is going to be hands down the best collection tour I've ever put together. I'm 100% confident out there. So stay tuned for that later in the year. Video is going to come in between that there. I'm shooting for November for the collection tour specifically. I can share that with you guys here. But I got tons of videos that I'm editing right now, putting together fun topics, hard questions, really fun games, all sorts of different content. I want to see what you guys think of it there. And when it's ready, I will share it with you guys. But for now, I'm going to keep that on the lock and key just for safety reasons. But yes, stay tuned because it's coming.
Cannot wait, man. I appreciate you guys sharing your stories, sharing, you know, what means most, and really excited for your all's channels. You guys are both doing, you know, phenomenal. You know, Justin, loving your live streams, man. Getting into some Lego too. And,
yeah, man.
Dlo, I feel like, man, you have like some of the best tours. So I get really pumped when you come up with those because you do stuff a little different. You make it, you know, you make it unique. And so yeah, go check out their channels, everybody. I just want to real quick just say hello to Collector Joey. Appreciate you making it here, man. Always good to see you around. And another member of the Brickyard. So if you guys want to join the Brickyard, go ahead and join Joey in doing so. Yeah, people saying, you know, thanks for sharing, Dlo. Very, very awesome. That's what means the most, right? For me, I didn't have a figure this year. This is, I think, my fourth time doing what means the most. And you know, after a while, when I've already done 3 figures, it's like, okay, now it's like, what means the fourth most? What means the fifth most? So I don't want to do it every time. If for some reason I get a figure that really means something to me, like a new figure or something, I will bring that up. But you know, until then. But yeah, I mean, other than Bugle 6, real quick though, great stream this week, boys. Had a really good time once again. But next week we have I have the Queen G 22, who is a huge Ninja Turtle fan. She is very well known for her TMNT appearance all over Instagram. She's got her YouTube channel. She's also really into video games. I'm very excited to have her on the stream. It's been a long time coming. On October 7th, so a week from today, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Make sure to check that one out because that one's going to be totally crazy. A lot of fun. If you guys are Ninja Turtle fans, definitely. If you guys are video game fans, definitely check it out. If you guys aren't, check it out anyways because we're going to have fun. I also have Austin Nicholas on that show along with Jose Plus, and just going to be a fun show. It's going to be exciting. So yeah, anything Ninja Turtles you guys are excited for. We'll have top or bottom Ninja Turtles. We're going to have all types of stuff. So looking forward to that. And of course, Wolfpack Wednesday, this Wednesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time. So come check out Dlo and myself along with Jedi Knights Watch and the Evil Sneaker, baby. Let's go. And other than that, I mean, I just came out with a haul video. I got 3 great figures. Go ahead and check that video out if you haven't yet. And don't really have any other videos planned because that's enough. So but yeah, guys, just wanted to say thank you one more time to the chat. Wanted to thank you guys on the panel here one more time. It was a lot of fun, and definitely I think the longest Bugle 6 show yet. So appreciate you guys.
We knew it would happen. We knew it would happen when you said I'm going to try to keep it at 2 hours. Me and Dlo are like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you guys made it.
We like to get chatty.
Oh man. But yeah, guys, until next time, keep bricking.